The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Good morning.
Today is a very special day.
Today is both National Chicken Wing Day and National Lipstick Day. So it's doubly exciting if you're a Hooters waitress.
Tell me likey. Tell me what wingy.
Popeye's chicken is awesome.
I get random thoughts like, did God give chickens wings just for us? They don't even use them. They're just working them out all day long. Look at that wing right there. Man, look at that wing. Somebody gonna love that wing right there, man. You put some hot sauce on that wing, man, some salt and pepper. That's gonna be a good wing for somebody, man.
You know what else I just realized?
It's showtime.
Unbelievable. It really is. Welcome, folks, to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. We hope you had nothing but laughs over the weekend. And here we are together again for a Monday broadcast. Chicken Wing Day, apparently. There's my life partner, Josh, across the way there. How you doing, son?
Good. How about yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I like chicken wings. It's been a while for me. I know, Dana, it's a staple for you.
Yeah, weekly staple at least, for sure. Love me some wingy.
There was some news recently about the Supreme Court getting involved in chicken wings, which is something I'd never thought I'd see.
I'm glad they're tackling the big issues, Josh.
Right. Yeah, there's all kinds of issues out there, but chicken wings is the forefront of what's going on right now.
The Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court, the highest court we've got here.
That's a big one.
It goes no higher.
No, that's it.
What are they arguing about?
Whether or not there can be bones in boneless chicken wings.
We've got nothing better for these folks to be doing?
I guess not.
Who gives a rat's ass?
A story out of Ohio close to a decade ago where a guy ordered some boneless chicken wings. Dana, your thoughts on the title boneless chicken wings?
They're chicken nuggets. They shouldn't be called, they shouldn't even have the word wing in the title.
You get very passionate about this.
I do.
So he eats a boneless chicken wing. There's a bone in there, and it goes down the wrong pipe. And it causes some major issues for this guy to the point where he had to have multiple surgeries.
Christ almighty.
So he said, hey, I ordered boneless chicken wings. What's going on? And tried to sue the restaurant, tried to sue the manufacturer of the wing, and apparently things weren't going too well for him, so they bring it all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court says, hey, you know what? It's chicken. Chickens have bones. It's not unreasonable to think there could be a bone in your boneless chicken wing.
That's such crap. I am not expecting any type of bone or anything hard, for that matter, inside my chicken wing or my chicken nuggets or anything.
Now you're supposed to expect, well, I shouldn't say, they called it shouldn't be unexpected, right?
It shouldn't be unexpected.
That's how they phrased it.
Okay. All right. We're all settled then?
I would be surprised. But yeah, the Supreme Court, they tackled this issue.
The last time you were so entertained by a subject matter being put in front of the Supreme Court, I think, was when the baseball steroid trial.
Oh, God.
No. I follow nothing connected to the Supreme Court. I hear about it only when something like this happens. I remember we were both very entertained back in the day when Rafael Palmeiro and Mark McGwire found themselves in front of... Some guys did some drugs. What are we so worried about? You know what I mean?
It's going to be okay.
Right, Josh? Right. That was a good 20 years. I don't know how long
There's
ago.
So many divisive issues around there. And, you know, poor Dana, boneless chicken wings are divisive.
They can be. Yes, they absolutely can be.
He does not like that they're called boneless chicken wings. And you know what? You got a point. Tenders, nuggets, maybe that's more appropriate.
Am I right about that? That the steroid trials hit the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
We're trying a couple of old ball players to figure out if they did drugs to stay in the lineup during a doubleheader. Who gives a rat's ass? That was so stupid. But that's good, too.
I suppose they got to fill their time, right?
They got to find something to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's only so many of those issues out there.
Oh, cripes. There you go. Did any of you go to that 300-degree outdoor Foo Fighters concert last night?
No, I really wish I would have, though.
Yeah, me too.
But one of my bros went. I'll have to ask him.
Oh, I heard it was great.
Yeah, I heard it was fantastic.
My stepson's girlfriend went with her family, said it was fun. They got rained on a little bit, but...
Not too bad, though. It looked like they could have gotten pelted really badly, but I guess the rain was brief.
No, it wasn't too bad.
I'll have to ask.
I read reviews from both papers, said they did a great job.
I'm sure they had a great show. I would just like to ask my pal who went if they got everybody out of there. It was Target Field, right?
Yep.
I want to know if they got everybody out of Target Field by midnight. Because last time I saw the Foo Fighters in concert, they kept me out past midnight, and I did not handle that well.
So real quick, a follow-up. People are saying it was Congress, not the Supreme Court.
It was
equally stupid.
It was
equally dumb.
Whatever group of judges were handling the steroid situation, it was absolutely unnecessary. It doesn't matter who they were.
Let's talk to the senator from Rhode Island.
Yes,
Your
right.
thoughts on steroids in baseball?
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I wonder because my stepson's girlfriend had told me that they didn't even start till around, or they were anticipated to start around 8 Foo Fighters. There's 2 opening bands. But yeah, it was hot, man. Just walking from, I had to run a couple places yesterday, walking from the car to the entrance of the store. It was like, I needed to take a break.
It was pretty nasty yesterday.
Yeah, I took the trash out, and I'm still recovering.
Yeah, it was thick. If you had to work outside yesterday, may God have mercy on your soul. This week, too, sounds like it's going to be rough.
If I were a concert goer, I'm not much of a concert goer anymore.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I would have been in a bad mood yesterday morning.
Why
thinking,
couldn't have this been Target Center
well,
or
right.
Energy Center?
Put it in a hockey rink. Or how come it couldn't have been 78 degrees as opposed to 178? Hopefully everyone got out of there alive. The Foo Fighters came to town last night. Hell, if you want to keep talking about live music, we'll give folks a crack at Metallica concert tickets at one point or another this morning. That effing show, couple of them, right?
Two of them. Yep.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Friday and a Sunday, I believe.
That setup comes to town in just 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, and we only announced it 4 years ago.
That was one of my most favorite announcements. Yeah, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
or last
something
year?
like that.
I can't remember where. Yeah, it was a 2-year announcement.
It's also like kind of too when WWE was like, hey, SummerSlam is coming to U.S. Bank Stadium in 2.5 years. Like, oh, all right.
I remember when we made this announcement, we equated it to having to do a stupid pre-show announcement where you're hoping to say, ladies and gentlemen, Metallica, and then all of a sudden they break into Bread Fan or something. But instead, ladies and gentlemen, and people are thinking, oh, here comes the band. There's a dork on stage. We're just about a half hour away from Metallica.
In 45 minutes, Metallica.
That's a miserable feeling.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it is.
worst.
I hate being that person.
Makes you feel like a damn jackass is what it does.
One time they almost told me that the band was going to start right when I'm done with the announcement. And good thing beforehand, I walked up to someone and I'm like, is it a cold intro? Is it hard? And they're like, no, it's definitely going to be cold. So that means the band comes on later. So they set me up to say, and here's the band. And then that was not going to happen.
And they wouldn't have been there like ready to go.
God, that would have been bad.
Even the opening bands, I don't know why I phrased it that way. I know why. Would be a good enough show. That's what I meant to say. Even the opening bands.
Oh.
I mean, Pantera, with Zakk Wylde, one of my favorite guitar players. Mammoth, WVH.
Very good.
Oh, he's awesome, man. Absolutely love him.
That's the Friday show. Are the openers different for the Sunday show?
Yeah, and then Sunday it's Ice Nine Kills and boy, I can't remember the other.
Well, then get me there Friday if you can.
Ice Nine Kills is an amazing live band. Gotta see them. Gotta see them.
All right, I hear you.
Don't tell us what to do.
You can't tell us what to see and what not to see.
We'll see what we want to see.
That was very presumptuous of you.
But we'll have Congress deal with this, I'll tell you that. Or the Supreme Court. Metallica's coming to town here in a couple, 3 weeks. James and Lars and Kirk and the bass player.
I always forget his name, too. Robert Trujillo.
Robbie.
There we go.
Robski.
Oh, that's the worst feeling. Just the other day, I was talking to you about, I'm like, oh, you know who I bet we'll see, what the hell? The bass player for Metallica. That's not fair to him. Robert Trujillo.
No, it can happen. It can happen. Well, the Olympics kicked off last Friday. The Olympic opening ceremonies had a metal vibe.
Dude, that was so cool.
A band called Gojira.
Gojira.
Gojira?
Mm-hmm.
I know I've seen the name here and there for years. First time I guess I've tried to say it out loud. Gojira played a song or two.
Dude,
That was it was
cool.
awesome.
It was so cool.
A lot of people were texting us Friday saying, "Hey, did you know Gojira's going to play?"
I thought they were joking.
And so did I. I thought,
I
well,
did too.
Well, the first person I almost got back with a ha-ha, that's hilarious. I thought they were just joking like, the Olympics would never have a metal band there.
Mm-hmm.
And then more and more people were texting in, and lo and behold, that was a cool show.
Yeah, it was. Lame claim to fame really quick. One of my buddies actually does their lights. He tours with them.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
That's a hell of a deal there.
Yeah, he even did lights for Steve Vai, too.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, on his last tour.
So Gojira played a song or two as part of the Olympic opening ceremonies. There was pyro and scary headless statues and whatnot. They're a French metal band.
Yeah, Marie Antoinette. That's who they were portraying with the head being chopped off.
I'm going to go along with it. Folks said it was a performance straight out of Mad Max. Now, do they normally bring that kind of pyro to their?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's don't tell me the name. Speaking of when you can't come up with a name, Josh, their live shows are kind of a Rammstein-y.
Yeah.
Or
obviously less pyro.
It's not that over the top.
Yeah.
So Rammstein, they're kind of known for that, right?
Oh, boy.
Isn't the lead singer like a pyro guy? Like he creates it and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
So this was not a typical Gojira performance. It was a little more over the top than normal at the Olympic opening ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so I'm a history nerd. So Marie Antoinette, the lady who had her head chopped off, the castle that they were playing at, that was where she was a prisoner before she got her head chopped off.
You're freaking me out, dude.
Yeah.
You're freaking me out.
It was just really cool for me. I'm like, dude, that's where she was. And I don't know.
All right.
Cool.
People called it one of the most stunning, incredible, slightly gross, weird, perfect moments from any opening ceremony. I wish I could sit here and compare it to any other. I can't really compare it to any other opening. But to have a metal band featured in such a setting is a cool accomplishment.
Yeah, I thought that's my first time ever. I've obviously heard them many times and heard of them, but I'd never seen them, and that was cool.
Yes, okay, thank you, Kidney Stone Jesus, who texted in. I have heard this before. Gojira is Godzilla in French. I believe I'd heard that before. A couple other listeners are saying they're big fans of the band. First heavy metal band to ever perform at an opening ceremony. Maybe it'll open the door to... I'm not even going to say it.
Weird Al?
Well, no, I'm always thinking about, giving Weird Al Yankovic more opportunities. What I was going to say, even though it'll never happen, I was going to say maybe this might open the door to a metal band playing at the Super Bowl, but it'll never happen, and I'm so burned out on the Super Bowl halftime show hype that maybe I don't even want to see my favorite heavy metal band featured at the Super Bowl because it's just a bunch of phony crap anyway,
I love that Blue Oyster Cult song, Go, Go, Gojira.
Yeah. I saw them in concert a few years ago, and I got a huge kick out of seeing them sing Gojira. Speaking of those Olympic Games, I really have no idea why this was presented on the internet as a news story, but members of Team USA's swim team said that they always pee in the pool. Everybody pees in the pool. Why would Olympic athletes be any different?
I usually get out.
Yeah, I don't pee in the pool anymore.
I do.
Anymore?
I think I stopped
changed?
when I was like 10. I grew up.
What are you saying that people that pee in the pool lack maturity?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Oh, I disagree. It's a natural thing.
I pee in the pool.
From inside or outside? That makes it
Outside.
It does.
Just hanging over the edge.
One of my
Hey, everybody.
consistently one of my favorite and most fascinating facts, I guess, about Josh. One of my favorite things to talk about is that you get out of the pool and you get out of the shower when you got to take a pee.
I do. Yeah.
That says so much about the guy that you are.
Out of the shower,
Yeah, the
too.
shower especially says something because that's just like doing it for your own benefit. I mean, getting out of a pool, I feel like that's just courtesy for other people that are swimming in it. But the shower blows my mind.
It does? Really? So, okay. I mean, mine's courtesy for the other people that are going to shower in there.
Yeah, so where are you going with that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess I
I
clean my
understand
shower,
you're not
so maybe-
submersing yourself in my urine like you would in a pool. But my wife is very against that, so
Oh, okay.
I don't do it.
you're just following the wife's
Yeah,
rules?
I never really have been a shower peer. I usually just, it's tough for me to hold it, so I'll just go ahead of time.
Let me ask you this, Josh. Is the toilet close enough that you could hit it from the shower?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's not.
That would be convenient.
And I do have quite the stream. I mean, I can get a good distance.
Yeah, he's a long-distance kind of a guy. So the U.S. Olympic swim team says they always pee in the pool. Now, part of their reasoning here, they say getting into their ultra-tight swimsuits can take up to 20 minutes.
Whoa. Oh, my gosh.
That's like when you see some people like at the CDC going through 3 clean rooms to go into the most dangerous viruses or whatever, the room with that. 20 minutes, that's crazy.
Hold on, guys. I just got to change my underwear. I'll be back in 30 minutes.
And they're in the pool for a really long time.
So I guess that's a good excuse. But I bet even if their swim trunks came on and off easy, they'd still pee in the pool because it's a damn pool. Everybody pees in the pool. If you don't, I think you're weird. Why are you getting out of the water to go to a toilet when you're already sitting in one?
Well, we were always terrified growing up about that urban legend that, it would turn red or something. There's a chemical in there that would turn a different color if you were to pee, so then everybody would know that you were the pee pooler.
Yeah, like in the Grown Ups movie. That messed me up.
I would have been happy to take that challenge on when I was a kid. Another Olympian said they drink so much fluids before they go out for a swim, before they compete. They hydrate the living hell out of themselves. So they have no choice. They always have to pee. So, hell, they'd be hopping in and out of the pool a dozen times. According to one Olympian, they get themselves so hydrated that it's a necessity just to let her buck. As far as normal people go, only 40% of adults admit to taking a squeege in the pool when they have to. Now,
I had some friends that had a pool, and they had the funny sign of "Welcome to our ool." You'll notice there's no pee in it. Please keep it that way.
I love that little sign.
And my friend's mom said, "Hey, if you guys pee in this pool, we have a chemical in there that'll change the color around you, so we'll know who's taking a leak."
Right.
I don't know. I've heard since that's a myth.
Now, one Olympian said, don't be so worried about taking a whiz bang in the pool. These are people who represent their countries in massive swimming events like the Olympics. So let's take their word. They say there is so much chlorine in your average pool, it's not as if you're really peeing on anybody else. It's quickly eradicated by the chlorine. Like Ashley said, it's common courtesy. Forget about it. Your pee gets, eradicated, whatever the word might be, right away.
That's why I like to have chlorine in my swim pocket at all times. Just a little extra.
It's a little
chlorine in your swim pocket?
So you pee, and then you just reach into your trunks and sprinkle a little chlorine around what you just made?
Some of the swimmers admit to peeing while they're competing, while they're swimming.
That's what I would do. You're beating them, and all of a sudden you're peeing, and in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, you're swimming through that.
Taste my urine, boys.
Oh!
I don't know why he had to.
Oh, my God.
Some of them don't even wait to get into the water.
Really?
They'll be sitting on a bench or whatever, waiting for their turn, and they'll just Go ahead. So they're very pee-friendly in the international swim world.
This text says, my son is almost 4 and he gets out of the pool to pee. Dad, not always. I don't even remember I was trying to think of this. I got invited to a pool party over the weekend, and I kind of laughed at the guy like, what are you thinking? Why would I ever go to a pool party? I don't remember the last time I've been in a pool.
I love pools.
I can't. I mean, it's got to be when my big kids were really little. So I was probably around 20 years ago.
God.
Wow, I was last in a pool on Friday.
You must know somebody?
No, I go to Bunker Beach. It's like really close to my house. So.
And then there's a pool there?
Yeah, they have a really cool pool in a lazy river.
Oh, they got a lazy river?
Boy, it's a good question, Josh. I don't know. The last time I was in a pool, one of my best friends has a pool, and we used to go there a lot when we were young, but, 20s and maybe even into our early 30s. But last time I got into his damn pool, I really don't know. It's been a long time.
I used to, go in the lake a lot. And that's mostly because the jocks would push me out of my canoe.
Oh, God.
Poor Josh.
You can see, hey, there's some canoeing on television today as part of the
I know, I saw that.
Oh, sweet.
summer.
Cool.
Are you really that excited about canoeing, Ashley?
Yeah, I like to watch that.
Okay.
It's cool.
I like the whitewater rafting. That's fun.
That's an Olympic sport?
You've done that, or you're saying you like to watch it?
Like to watch it. It's insane.
It is an Olympic sport?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that listed anywheres yet.
Oh, really? Yeah,
No.
I watched it, 4 years ago, and I thought it was really cool because, obviously the waves and stuff, but then they would have to turn around a buoy and paddle upstream. It was insane.
One of my favorite little gimmicks that we would do at my buddy's pool back when we were young, I had, my dachshund for 19 years, Ozzy. He loved to swim. But he wasn't so much good at jumping in. You had to put him in. I don't know why. He's a stupid dog. Try to figure it out. But if I put him in the pool, he'd just swim his nuts off. He loved it. But he wouldn't jump in. He was afraid of it, I guess. So what we would do, just for laughs, maybe you had to be there, we would take one of those, what do you call those things you lie down on in a pool and you relax in it? One of those.
Floaty?
Sure.
That's what we always call
floating bed, whatever. I know there's probably a swimmer's term. One of them inflatable floating beds, right? We would put a mountain of Cheetos on the inflatable floating bed and push it to the edge of the pool. He would step out onto the inflatable floating bed to eat the Cheetos, and then we would push the bed out to the middle of the pool. He didn't notice this because he's eating the Cheetos, and then we would wait for the moment where he would look up and realize, oh, God, I'm in the middle of the pool. What do I do? It was kind of a fun game every time we'd go. Vinny, you know Vinny, Josh.
I love Vinny.
He's the one with the pool.
Pool guy Jesus said he's been working with pools for years. No such chemical that turns pee another color. Yeah, I was suspicious of that. And somebody else said the reason you were invited to that pool party is so you could bring the wife. Yes, I was aware of that because my friend mentioned her, quote, flotation devices. Thought maybe she could bring those out.
Well, you were invited to a pool party recently.
Yeah, just on Saturday.
Well, you wouldn't have had to get in the pool. I would picture if I was, what's the word you just used, invited to a pool party now, I would imagine we would just sit around the pool. I don't think that any of us would get into the pool.
He told me I had to.
You had to.
He said, if you come to this thing, you have to do it.
Man, all right.
Josh gets pushed in with his clothes on.
I'm like a cat. You're putting me in a cat carrier. I'm just spread out. You're not getting me in here.
And over the weekend, I found a new dream job. Something I wish I would have gone for when I was young. I'd like to be an Olympic basketball referee. You only have to work every 4 years.
That would be great.
I was watching some Olympic basketball, and I thought, man, the referees, every 4 years you put in, even better than the garbage men, who, from what I've seen, only work on Wednesdays.
Mine work on Fridays.
On Friday. Yours?
Yep.
Oh, so there you go. What are we doing today? So Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder will check in about 7:30. And stay tuned for your chance at those damn Metallica tickets.
The other band we were looking for was Five Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills.
How do we forget? This radio station is very familiar with Five Finger Death Punch.
Very.
They're great live.
Their guitar players are very talented.
Yep.
I don't know. I heard a little frustration come out there. I don't know.
Well, you know what it was? It's not my frustration. It's texters' frustration. So I'm like going back to Congress. I'm a representative of the people that text in. I'm like, okay, we know you played some Five-Finger Death Punch over there.
Please tell me that's the first song of the day while coming up here.
I could.
Hey, Monday Night Raw is in town tonight. If you're headed out to that show, have a friggin' good time. We appreciate you listening this Monday morning. We'll be back in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Welcome to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Well, let's get into season 4, episode 21, Forever.
Is there a button we can hit that just skip?
I know. What I'm surprised about, and I don't think there's anything he could have done, but James Marshall directed this, and he's directed so many great episodes.
It's collecting the paycheck.
This would have been an epic episode if somehow it was Lex Luthor's high school experience at graduation.
Binge seasons 1 through 4 of Talkville before season 5 begins, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I'll tell you what, this here very first stupid news story for today is all kinds of mental. It comes smooth out of India. Now, I don't know how I'd react if I found out that the state or the government or whoever, I don't know how I'd react if I found out that they listed me as officially dead, even though I was still alive. But I can promise you I wouldn't go down this route. A sick maniac who was declared dead by the Indian government went ahead and stabbed 3 people as part of a violent crime spree to prove that he is, in fact, still alive.
Yeah, it seems like there's other crimes you could commit that might be, well, less stabby, certainly. But, stealing a car, the car of your dreams, or, I
don't know, just punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, I wouldn't go violent, but, I'm dead on the inside, but I've still never felt like stabbing somebody.
No, you have not.
But I would think, like, running from the cops. Like, sorry, I'd love it if you could arrest me, but I'm dead.
It's just...
I might ask the company to stop taking taxes out of my paycheck if I were dead.
Right.
I know I'm not going to get audited. I'm dead.
This guy goes by the name of Babaroom Bill. Babaroom Bill says here he received a death certificate from the government and thought his property was going to be seized. However all that works, it really doesn't matter. He found out that the government recognized him as a dead person. So he tried to straighten things out with some paperwork and whatnot. Sent some forms back into the... That didn't work. So apparently, he said, F it. I've got a better idea as to how to get him to acknowledge me as a live human being. So this effing nut job went on over to a school in his neighborhood. He walked into the school with a knife and a bottle of gasoline.
Oh, man.
He took some hostages and he stabbed some folks.
Would there ever be a time when the government tells you you're dead and they keep arguing with you that you're dead, that you might assume that you were dead and you were stuck between worlds? I think there might be a moment for me where I'd wonder, am I dead?
Yeah, there'd be a couple seconds where I'd think about it.
I guess they'd have to tell me face to face, and then I'd second guess myself if they told me face to face.
And I'd be pretty frustrated too. Like, wait, I'm dead and I'm still constipated. This is BS.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go get a knife and a can of gasoline. I'm gonna sort this out.
From what I know, it was all grown folks that he attacked at the school, and eventually, police cruised over and arrested stupid bastard, sick, violent, Babaroom Bill. He said that committing a serious enough crime to get himself arrested would leave police with no other choice than write his name down in a police report, which would prove that he wasn't actually dead.
I remember when my dad passed, it was tough to prove he was dead. I mean, there's a couple times I thought, Mom, when she's dealing with this stuff, we're going to have to bring the body to that office because they had a lot of difficulty believing he had passed for whatever reason.
Yeah, some companies make it really hard on you.
It was difficult.
I never had to go through any of that when my old man checked out. So who didn't believe he was dead?
I have to ask my mom. I can't remember if it was an insurance company or what. There was like 2 places where it was really, even with the death certificate, she had to get more proof that he had passed away.
That's ridiculous.
I heard that canceling gym memberships is really hard.
There was one that was really stupid. It was not a gym membership. My dad wasn't necessarily the most svelte individuals, but it was something dumb like that.
I thought that's where our dads hung out, was at the gym. It wasn't. They didn't hang out at the
Maybe
gym.
to pick up chicks or something.
Weren't you gifted a canoe or something from your dad, and that was tough too?
That wasn't at. Well, maybe you're onto something.
I thought there was something there.
Yeah, there was. You're right. There was something there. Yeah, that was
like you couldn't get a license for the boat or.
Yeah, you were onto something. Maybe that was one that was difficult too. Right, that was my dad left me in his will. I got the canoe.
Now we're talking. All right. Here's a cute story for you. You'll remember this one. An 18-year-old kid in Georgia by the name of Jason Weir. He's had to go off to jail. The word is his dad and his sister allegedly caught him sexually assaulting a donkey and the family dog. That's not right.
No.
I'll never understand some people.
I don't care who you are.
Yuck.
That just straight up ain't right.
Nope.
So the kid got dumped into the county jailhouse for a stretch of time. Now, after sitting in the cooler for a couple of months, he's been in there for a couple of months for what he allegedly did to a donkey and the family dog. Now that he's been sitting there for a while, 1 or 2 of the other inmates got wind of what the kid had done to earn his sentence. The rumors started to swirl around the cooler as to what this kid did to end up in the county jail. And that brings us up to today. Alleged dog and donkey pumper Jason Weir was hit with a new misdemeanor battery charge after he punched another inmate for mocking him with donkey sounds there at the jailhouse.
That's so awesome.
Well, come on, you knew what you were doing to yourself.
Stop it! Now I'm super horny. That's so good.
One or
so
more.
Simple. The simple ones are often the best, aren't they?
One or more of the other inmates they're making donkey sounds at him wherever he goes. He finally cracks, socks one of them in the face. That's a solid bit right there.
I love that story.
You just lay your head down in your cell and all of a sudden,
I really do love prison justice stories. Yeah. So good.
Word is, the inmate that got socked didn't fight back. Probably because he's too busy laughing his ass off. You ever taunt somebody when you were a kid and they attack you and it doesn't even bother you because you're having such a good time?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, man. I remember giving my brother hell when we were kids, and eventually he'd pounce and start slugging the piss out of me, and I didn't even care because I'd gotten him so good. And this is a good example of that. That donkey bit was so strong and so perfect, I bet the guy didn't even care that he got punched in the eyeball.
I have never, to my knowledge, known an animal humper, thankfully. Known some shady characters, but never someone who did something like that. Anybody here?
Nope.
No.
Thankfully.
Yeah. I'm glad that's a little more rare.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Gonna go out of my way to try to keep it that way too.
It seems like something that maybe you should stay in jail for a little bit longer than 2 years or whatever they're giving them. I don't know that you can be cured from something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever known anyone that was that sick either, unless I'm forgetting something very dramatic. You want to hear this twisted-ass kid's backstory as far as the dog humping goes? His own family members said that he was caught with his pants down in their backyard, attempting to have sex with their Great Dane. Oh, a male Great Dane. Now, the kid, this Jason Weir, like I said, he's only an 18-year-old. He said the reason his pants were down was because he was trying to take a piss out in the backyard, and the dog knocked him down. And that's why his pants were down around his ankles.
Sure, bud. Sure.
Big dog, it knocked me down. I'm out here in the backyard like a grown person normally would be. I'm out here in the backyard taking a squeege. There's no explanation here about what the hell was going on when he allegedly tried to fold a donkey. Unless I missed it, there's no explanation here as to the backstory on the donkey fold attempt. So maybe we should just make something up. God help us all.
Man, I really hope that there's some CCTV footage somewhere where you can just hear the reverberated donkey sounds from neighboring jail cells.
They must not have heard about the Great Dane, or else one inmate would have been doing the donkey. One inmate would have been doing an imitation of a donkey. The other would have been doing an imitation of a big dog. Eeyaw, eeyaw.
Wapple, we got a couple texts saying you were awful quiet when I asked if anybody knew a donkey humper.
I said no.
Nobody heard you say a word. Everyone's suspicious now.
Wapple with the bell. Wapple!
Oops, sorry.
I guess it depends on who you are, whether you think this nonsense was worth $75. A fella by the name of Tito Evan Lloyd. Hey, he's got 3 first names. Anyway, a fella called Tito Evan Lloyd, allegedly he held a gun on his former employer to try and get the $75 that Tito claims he's owed by his old boss. Put a gun on the guy. He went back to where he used to work. He was apparently upset about a missing paycheck, $75. Confronted his ex-manager with the firearm, and he threatened to shoot the place up and everyone in it if he didn't get his $75. Back in the day, Josh, it was $2, wasn't it?
I want my $2, yeah.
I want my $2. What movie?
Persistent.
Better Off Dead. John Cusack.
You guys ever seen-
Never saw it.
Nope, never even heard of it.
Long time ago.
19, I'm trying to say. I'll go with 85.
It is 85.
Nice.
Well, I better look that up, but I think it's 85.
They play Everybody Wants Some by Van Halen in that.
Yep, 1985.
So he threatened to shoot everybody dead if he didn't get his $75. After a short while, Tito ran like hell, but he was caught. He's a free man again. He put a gun on somebody, but I guess he's a free man again. He was ordered to stay away from his ex-boss. Josh, if one day you find yourself in a situation like Tito was in, and you think the boss shortchanged you $75 on your last paycheck, I'll borrow a player $75 so you don't have to start waving around a gun like a friggin' idiot.
That's very kind of you.
I would do that for you.
You know, I'm in a situation, right now I'm in the waiting period to get a gun because one of my favorite retailers overcharged me $23. And I reached out and I'm like, oh, hey, everybody. You overcharged me $23. And the dude's like, oh, no, that was just a fee. You were charged at the time of purchase. And I'm like, well, I'm looking at my receipt and there's no fee on there. And he's like, yeah, nothing I can do. So do I drop it? My thought is I'm just going to drop it and say, okay, whatever. Or does pride Get me to go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
To get my $23 back.
That's
And
more
if they won't take it,
$23.
Congress.
I think you can let her go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, how much fight do you put up?
I understand completely.
They've given me $23 worth of extra joy over the years.
But what about that T-shirt that you wear around town that says $20 is $20?
I'll earn it back quick because of that shirt.
I want my $2.
You know, in this neighborhood,
1985. Yes, Josh.
In this neighborhood, I probably could make that $20 pretty quick.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have a lot of competition, unfortunately. If I wait around long enough.
Friggin' Canadians, man. They can be complicated people. They can. This here's a complicated story. Well, it was, but I edited the balls off of it. And let me see if I can still explain it properly. A Canadian gal, otherwise known as a Sheila. That's what Canadians call Canadian ladies. They call them Sheilas.
What do they call males?
Sheilas.
Yeah, it's
the same thing. I have no idea why. Do you know what they call Canadian males?
Yeah, blokes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Hey, you've often heard a Canadian say, "Hey, bloke stole my Sheila." Canadians. This Canadian gal, she's been ordered by a court to repay her ex-boyfriend for a ticket to a Coldplay concert that she and her ex went to last year.
I love Coldplay.
Nobody loves Coldplay. Here's the thing. I don't even really think, from what I read here, Josh, I don't even think we should call them boyfriend and girlfriend. They were more like seeing each other, right?
Yeah, it was more casual.
Casual.
Let's not put a label on this. Let's just see how it goes, that type of thing.
Fair enough. Yeah. Her name is Alyssa Randalls. Her ex-bloke goes by the name of Michael Stolfi. So the gist, from what I can understand, is that Alyssa thought the concert, going off to see Coldplay, was a date. As in, her dude was paying her way for the night. The dude, Michael, said, I meant to go halvesies on the concert. Where's my damn money? That's the situation they were in. Christ, I wouldn't give you $2 to go see Coldplay. By God, they're an expensive band to see live. It says here it was about $450 for the two of them to go see that garbage band.
Man, sounds right, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think I paid close to $400 for 2 Green Day tickets.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that bad compared to like how expensive tickets are nowadays. Like $200 a person? All right.
Yeah, but it's Coldplay. It should be $1.50 to go. Anyway,
Hater.
The rest of the story is boring, and it goes into detail on how Canadian law deals with situations like this. I can tell you this, though. After the show, the two of them did spend the night at a Best Western hotel.
Romantic.
I can read between the lines.
You know what that means.
That means
yes,
sex.
I guess, all in all, if you're going to an expensive show with someone that you don't know all that well, make sure everybody understands who's paying for what. But like you were saying, effing concerts these days are so much damn money. It's not like back in the day. I took a gal to see a Styx concert on a date for a total of $35.
Oh, my gosh.
We went and we saw Styx, legendary rock gods. Total cost for the both of us, $35.
Yeah, that's awesome. I miss those days.
We'll never see him again.
I can't imagine we will. Yeah, that'd be tough to get back to. You know, it is, boy, wouldn't that be a bummer? She finds out, I thought this was a date. But if the dude said, hey, can I get my, half the money, wouldn't you just say, oh, yeah, sorry, I thought you were paying. Something like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Versus like,
why
get the court involved and all this stuff?
Ridiculous. Yeah. I want to hear more about what happened at that Best by God Western.
Maybe they made it a Western with some cowgirl. A reverse... No, they didn't know each other long enough for reverse cowgirl.
Oh, that's when you do reverse cowgirls, when you don't know them very well.
Well, that's the more dangerous cowgirl, is it not?
But since you don't know them that well, you don't care that much about their well-being.
You try everything when you don't know them, Cubby.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You try everything because you're never going to see them again.
A little less respect.
You're never going to acknowledge their existence again, are you, Ashley?
Nope.
Who?
So you're fine with the reverse cowgirl because you don't care what happens to him?
Yeah.
Is that essentially what you said?
Yeah.
I snapped it right off of him. What was his name? Don't know. Don't care.
I would never do that to my boyfriend.
Yeah, you got to see him the next day.
Yeah, I care about the state of his penis.
What state is it shaped like? I'm picturing Louisiana.
You crazy.
You care about the boyfriend's dong, but some moron you met at the Coldplay show, then I drug him over to the Best Western. Who cares?
Yeah.
Josh, you like the idea of saving a few bucks when you can, right?
I try and be frugal in certain areas.
Thrifty?
Yeah.
Coupons and all that?
Not ashamed of coupons. Promo codes. What else you got?
Oh, I don't know. See, I'm not a thrifty guy. So what else is there?
Boy, I don't know. Sales?
Coupons. What did you say?
Sales?
What was the second thing you said?
I said promo codes.
Promo. What's a promo code?
Well, I might search. Let's say I was going to purchase something at Best Buy.
Sure.
And I might search Best Buy promo codes, and then it'll come back with type in reverse cowgirl, and we'll give you $69 off.
Holy crap! Really?
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have that cool thing on your laptop? It will automatically try to find discount codes.
Oh, I don't have the automatic one. I go with Josh's run, just Google them.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's like, hey, I found 25 chances that you could get money off, and it's like, do you want to run all these coupons? Sometimes one of them works, sometimes none of them work.
Yeah, I found out that, at least in my case, most of them don't work.
Yeah.
or the ones that do are prominently featured at the top of the website I'm on anyways.
Yep.
All of what you've covered here so far? Never saw it. But I bet the friggin' wife knows it.
Oh, yeah, she's plugged in on all that.
She knows the internet.
She could probably give us some good advice.
She's on the internet. All right, so Cubby, not the only one, I guess, that takes an interest in saving a few bucks this way or that way. Soap costs money, right?
It does.
Sure.
You go to the store now and again, you buy soap. Well, if you're so frugal and thrifty, Josh, then when the hell are you going to wise up and start making soap out of your own body fat?
I've never even considered it.
Hello?
I know, I'm an idiot.
Hello?
Hello?
Says here some wacky character out there in Connecticut. He's an influencer. He makes his own soap from his body fats. It says here, speaking of never saw it, it says here, like Brad Pitt's character in Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tyler Durden.
That really grossed me out, that part. I didn't know that was a thing until that movie.
What's it say here about this guy? Makes soap out of his own body fat. Some call it disgusting. This dude calls it, next level recycling.
He's got a point there, I guess.
Watching the process, when it's all liquefied and, he's pouring that out and there's body fat in there, that was kind of gross.
It was very gross.
The story calls it gruesome, the process, Josh. I didn't bother watching it. I didn't.
Yeah, well, it's not like you missed a ton.
Okay.
Basically, he takes a Kool-Aid pitcher, pours it through this thing, does something else. It was kind of gross.
Is it next level?
No, it's not next level.
Okay. He posted, like I said, what they call a gruesome TikTok video detailing how he pulls this off, turning body fats into soap. He goes by the name of Robert Tolpe, 23-year-old kid. He said he got the idea, after getting fat removed during a liposuction procedure. he had.
Anybody here ever have liposuction?
No.
No. Danny, you should consider it.
Oh, my God.
I didn't mean that.
That's a great way to start the week.
There's more.
It gets better?
I could tell you've actually lost weight.
I know a gal who did.
How did it go? I mean, did she ever gain any weight back? I've heard you can gain back weight in weird ways, but I don't know that for sure.
Well, this was not a large person from the get-go.
Oh, I thought you had to be quite heavy. Maybe you don't.
Maybe she did this on a street corner in Blaine or something, but maybe with a large person who has, a real issue with weight or whatever the case may be, maybe then, you put it back on. This gal, she had a little bit of a tummy, and that bothered her, so she got the fat sucked out. You couldn't really tell. What I mean by that is there was just a teeny tiny little scar, Ski.
Right in the tummy area? Or do they, how sometimes like a breast implant, they'll go in through like the armpit or something where you don't really
My memory, Josh, is there was a little scar just to the right of her, what they call a navel.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, just a little. That's my memory. It's a long time ago. But like you said, I didn't think you could go in. I didn't think you could get on the list.
Yeah, I thought they would turn you away.
You just made the list.
But it could have been shady, in somebody's basement.
I knew they could go through the belly button. I went to school for it. It was the Naval Academy. Okay, that was stupid. So, do you know, I'm asking you questions. That was really dumb. I'm asking you questions you don't know the answer to here, but is that like a really expensive procedure, or is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the cost.
Here's another one. I hope this isn't annoying. Is this something where you go, you get it done, and you can walk out and go on with your day? Or
My memory serves me that it was an in and out type of a situation.
Because my wife's friend had lost a lot of weight, and so she had some extra skin removal. And this is 10, 15 years ago, but she was laid up, I think, for 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't do too much.
It says that the average cost of liposuction is around $7,000.
Oh my God, that's way more than I would have thought.
Yeah, it said it can get up to $17,000.
Wow.
This was near 20 years ago, so who knows?
Maybe it was a little cheaper too.
I would imagine so. So anyway, back to this whack bag who turns his own body fat into soap. He got the idea after getting 400 cc's of fat removed during a liposuction procedure. I don't know if that's a lot or a little. He said they were going to throw it, and what he means by it is his body fat. They were going to throw it away. But I asked if I could keep it because I've always wanted to make soap and didn't want to waste perfectly good fat.
Perfectly good fat.
Perfectly good.
Do you think the surgeon's like, what the hell, bro?
Yeah.
When you ask something like that?
Usually they don't let you keep any of that stuff.
I know.
Because I asked for my wisdom teeth. I don't know why. I just thought it'd be cool to have them. And they were like, no, we can't give those to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When I had braces, they pulled teeth and stuff and asked if I wanted to keep them.
What? Maybe they were just mean.
Oh.
So this effing guy, like Josh was describing, he's got a big Kool-Aid pitcher of his fat, pours it into a pot and this and that. I couldn't watch it. He then, I don't know if he cooks it. What does he do? Does he cook it? Then he pours it. So. He pours it into rectangular molds like you do with ice tray.
I wonder if the smell was bad.
Probably.
Yeah.
So he pours it into rectangular molds and then cuts it into usable soap bars. He says that it does lather. He says that when he uses his body fat soap, his hands feel clean and they smell amazing. Everyone loves to use the word amazing for the littlest things, and it fascinates me. And that's great. But I'm still just going to go off to the store and get a damn bar of soap.
That's really not that expensive.
In the movie Fight Club, never saw it, Brad Pitt's character and a character played by Ed Norton, they harvest fat from a liposuction clinic's dumpster and use it to make explosives. But you guys already knew that.
I don't know
because you saw it.
I don't know if you'd like that movie or not. That was a very good movie. I still don't know if you'd like it.
I'm never going to bother with it, so. Doesn't really matter. I don't know why, but this story aggravated me. Do you know what I'm talking about, Josh?
Yeah, I guess I could see, knowing you as I do, why this would be annoying. It's odd.
It's odd. It's cheesy. It shouldn't have aggravated me, but it did. Tell me if you get aggravated, too. A 38-year-old lady is running around golf courses, and she throws golf balls out onto the course, but first she writes on the balls, and it says, looking for a husband, and she puts her Instagram number, whatever the hell it is.
No, that's weird. Don't do that. I'd be so pissed.
Why would you? What would be pissing you off?
Because that would throw me off, because I wouldn't be able to tell after taking a drive if that's my ball or not from far away, and that would irritate me, because I would go all over to the ball, and then I'd read it and I'd realize it's some stupid chick.
See, now I got her aggravated too.
Yeah,
it didn't even take long.
I was expecting Ashley to get this fired up.
That'd be a fun game. That's my ball. We should play that sometime. What was kind of annoying about this to me was she's gorgeous, and I don't know that this is real for that reason.
She doesn't need to do that.
I didn't.
Not to suggest that, gorgeous people, well, I guess I don't know what I'm not suggesting. Try not to piss anybody off. But this doesn't seem as believable to me.
Okay, I didn't see a picture of the lady. She's scorching hot.
I find her very attractive.
All right.
Because I'm thinking about the guys that get billboards, right? We've heard those stories before, and they're usually dorky-looking dudes that could use the help.
The billboard that says, hello, I'm single.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm single.
All right, so anyway, she writes on the golf balls, looking for a husband, and she puts her Instagram code on there, or however Instagram handle works. She says, she's just having fun, and it's all cutesy and cheesy. So far, she's received about 20 direct messages from boring golf dudes who have picked up the golf balls.
That's something I can't imagine ever doing.
No.
On both ends, but I meant specifically getting a hold of the lady who decided to do something like that. You think she's a little goofy.
Absolutely.
Or more. HVAC delivery, Jesus said there's a guy with custom golf balls, and they read, if lost, give to your mom. I'll get it later.
All right, that's good.
That is great.
I don't know. Putting my name and number on a golf ball and then throwing it out on that also sounds like a good way to find myself duct taped in a dungeon someday. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. That sounds dangerous.
Oh God! All right.
So I saw this one funny video on Instagram, and these guys are golfing. They bring marshmallows, giant marshmallows, and they just drive around the golf course throwing the marshmallows out there so people think that's their golf ball.
That pissed me off too while watching that video. It's like, I hate these guys.
Well, who are you?
So funny.
What are you, Arnie Palmer or something? Have a little fun on the golf course, will you, Ashley?
So funny.
Don't waste so much of my time. I spend enough time looking for my ball.
It's your friggin' fault for signing up for that dopey sport in the first place. You got to deal with some marshmallows now and again. I like that video. I didn't see the video. It sounds like fun. I like the one where those dudes are hiding in the woods and they blow an air horn when the old timers.
Oh, dude.
This is a Jackass movie.
Remember when you did that to a former sales guy here and he was enraged? And this guy has a great sense of humor. Really funny dude. Awesome sense. And I miss him terribly, but he didn't find that funny at all.
This was many years ago at a radio station charity golf tournament. No one should be taking this seriously. We're all supposed to be focusing on raising money and having a good time and entertaining the clients. And
there were strippers on various holes.
Right.
It was goofy.
Oh, wow.
Right,
Yeah,
we had naked ladies on the. And here comes this dude who we love dearly. We still to this day. But I mean, I guess we found out that day he's a serious golfer. He got into his backswing, and I had a friggin' military-grade air horn on me. And just, he wouldn't look at us the rest of the friggin' day. He was so pissed off.
Oh, he was enraged.
That was a lot of friggin' fun. We wore that air horn out before we were there for an hour. Everyone in town knew we were having a good time.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I got some people talking about they're going to beat me in ping pong 21-0. I don't believe it. I'm scoring 1 point. 1 point. I'm scoring.
We'll give you what you might need to know about the Olympics when Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver duck in here. I watched a little bit of this, a little bit of that over the weekend. I saw Snoop Dogg. What did he do? Carry the torch?
Yeah, shaped like cool. A blunt.
Was that on purpose?
Probably.
All of them were shaped that way. That was friggin' clickbait.
I didn't even think it was really shaped like a blunt, to be honest.
No, yeah.
A terribly rolled blunt.
People are reaching. Everything that Snoop Dogg does, they have to somehow connect it to friggin' weed. But he looked very honored. Looked like he was having a great time.
Yeah. Oh, it looked like he was having a blast.
Snoop Dogg over there. We'll tell you this and that about the Olympics. We'll tell you what's coming up today if he's got some time to watch television. Twins, nice win, nice series win. Yesterday, they beat the Detroit Tigers 5-0. Bailey Ober was terrific. His last two starts have been just lights out. So they won the weekend and the season series against Detroit. Oh, gross. Today they got to play at the New York Mets. Just gross. It's almost as bad as playing against the Yankees.
Aren't the Mets the ones with the really hot mascot, though?
Well, they have Mr. and Mrs. Met.
Mrs. Met is built. She's got a donk on her.
Is she stacked?
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the back?
Yep.
Where like a brother wants to thank her mama for a butt like that. That's what you're saying?
Exactly. I'll send you a picture.
I'll look for that. I mean, I certainly have seen Mr. and Mrs. Met many times over the years. I've never checked them out, though. You've been checking them out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Nice win for the Twins. They got Royce Lewis back, but then Jose Miranda left the ball game. He was only the second batter of the ball game, if my memory serves me right. He took a 95-mile-per-hour fastball to the bean. Sounds like he's going to be okay, though. But we'll cover all this in much greater detail with Shaver and Ryder here in about a half hour. Josh's News is coming up next.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
You met Lala Kent on Vanderpump Rules. Now Lala and her friends share everything on Give Them Lala.
Ocean now knows the name of the baby.
No Amazon lines for that
impromptu.
one.
No. She's going to leak it.
Oh, if she tries to, I'm not letting her because she will leak the name.
Yeah, and she says it.
She goes, this would look so great for baby S.
Little baby Stephanie? Stephanie? People are still guessing. The most recent was Stone.
Oh, that's the name of my son. Stone.
Watch what Lala is talking about on YouTube or search for Give Them Lala wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
They got them going around the back, armored vehicles in the back with tons of lights on them. They got guys with the shields, and they're running back and forward from vehicle to vehicle.
A noise dispute in Chicago last week led to a tree trimmer getting shot, an hours-long standoff, and claims of voices from outer space. 4 employees were doing landscape work about 2:46 p.m. Wednesday when the homeowner, a regular customer, left the house with their son, 55-year-old Michael Lang, still inside. Lang confronted the workers about the noise and demanded they leave. When they said they were almost done, he retrieved a revolver and threatened the workers, saying, I told you to leave. One of you is going to die.
No. Somebody's going to have to die.
He then shot a 66-year-old employee in the stomach and went back inside the house.
God dang.
66-year-old landscaper?
And he survived.
Dang.
A standoff ensued with law enforcement unable to communicate with Lang, but he did call 911 twice, claiming to receive messages from outer space. At 9:18 p.m., he surrendered and was taken into custody.
9 times out of 10, there's going to be trouble when someone claims that they've gotten a message from outer space. I don't know if you guys have had the same experience.
I'm not trying to argue, but I'd suggest 10 times out of 10.
10 times?
Yeah.
Out of 10. A lot of interesting angles in that story. Sure, a 66-year-old landscaper. I don't think you run into many of those.
I'm surprised you can last that long doing that. That's tough work.
Dude got shot in the belly.
And survived. That's a tough guy.
That's how Chavez bought it in the documentary Young Guns, too. You guys are aware of that already.
I just saw part of that over the weekend. Well, I should say I saw that it was airing part of over the weekend.
I don't like the part when Chavez. What does he do? He kind of rides away on the white horse. I don't like it. It gets me sad.
A nurse's aide at an Indiana prison was charged with trying to smuggle cocaine and marijuana via a bowl of frozen lasagna. 45-year-old Regina Davis arrived at work where employees' belongings, including their meals, are x-rayed. A guard noticed her lasagna looked suspicious on the x-ray machine, and upon inspecting, they found packages of Coke and pot wrapped in electrical tape. She knows what they do. She's worked there a long time.
They put frozen lasagna through the x-ray machine.
Yeah, they put it all through.
That's funny.
Davis claimed a friend gave her the lasagna. She didn't know it contained drugs. However, after searching her phone, investigators found photos of the drug packages taken a day earlier.
What an idiot.
She then changed her story, saying she was threatened by unknown callers and instructed to pick up the drugs. They quickly determined that was bunk as well. Cap. Despite her explanation, she was arrested on 2 felony narcotics trafficking charges. The maximum security prison, 45 miles east of Chicago, houses over 2,000 inmates. By the way, it's National Lasagna Day today. Happy Lasagna Day to everyone. And National Chicken Wing Day.
Well, I feel for whoever didn't get their lasagna that they were looking forward to.
Oh, I bet Garfield's going to have some.
Oh, come on. Can't we have one lasagna story without someone making a Garfield reference? I'm disappointed in you, Wapple.
I'm always disappointed in myself, so welcome to the club.
Josh?
Garfield, he already hates Mondays, Wapple. You made it worse.
I hate today now. I really do. Josh, I'm going to make you want me even more than you already do. I found myself with a hell of a lot of downtime this weekend. Doesn't happen very often. So I started flipping through the television, and I watched one of your favorite all-time television shows. I watched a hell of a lot of it, Cops.
Oh, you did? Which version? Like the older ones or the new ones?
I think it was called Reloaded.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm not sure how recent that one is, but I watch some of those every once in a while.
Is that your favorite show of all time? Maybe. Cops.
X-Files. There's a few, but as far as reality shows, it's one of the only ones I like.
I'd never been really dialed into it, ever. But I had a riot. Now the opening credits, I was hooked. I was hooked from the opening credits because they're playing the song. I don't know, maybe it was the Bad Boy song. I can't remember. And it says Cops Reloaded. And they're showing little clips of different characters that they've arrested over the years. A big giant dude gets tased and the scream that he unleashes. The dude is a massive guy and he does this. As he's being tased, and I told myself, you know what, I'm going to take a crack at this. And I had a friggin' good time watching Cops Reloaded.
I'll have to get back to I haven't watched that in a long time. I've watched a little live PD here and there, but I haven't watched that in a while.
I've been watching the heck out of that, Josh.
What was this yesterday? Because I had
I think it was Saturday afternoon.
Okay, because yesterday my wife and I were doing what I like to call grocery shopping. That's where we go and we get foodstuffs for the home, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're in there and there's a kid wearing a wife beater, and I turn to my wife, I'm like, we're going to be on an episode of Cops any second now.
Sure.
There shouldn't be a 12-year-old running around a store with a wife beater on.
Oh, my damn. And I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, because it sounds like a lot of you watched episodes of Cops over the years. I did not. You will see homes. I've seen some unlivable homes I've seen probably more than the average person, unlivable homes. There were a few where I thought, how in God's name do you get a minute's rest in this house?
It stresses me out just seeing some of those houses.
Oh, it was, Josh, that little story there about the cocaine smuggling and the frozen lasagna. I found my way beyond the lame Monday and Garfield comment, and I had to tell you, I had such a great time watching one of your favorite shows.
That is a fun show.
Yeah.
It's one of those you can watch for hours quite easily. Mm-hmm. Entertaining. A Florida elementary school principal was arrested for a DUI. About 10 p.m. Friday, 46-year-old Otis Kitchen, I love the name, nearly sideswiped a deputy. Officials said he cut the deputy off, drove erratically, and almost traveled in oncoming traffic. Another deputy saw him run a red light. Despite an attempted traffic stop, Kitchen fled and kept driving until he parked in his garage. Taken into custody, as he exited his vehicle, he showed signs of impairment, including bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, the odor of alcohol, unsteadiness, and he peed on himself.
Yuck.
He blew a .14. Then in Virginia, a firefighter's on administrative leave after crashing a fire engine into a parked car while drunk in the middle of the afternoon.
Came outside, there was a car hit down the way, and the fire truck was right there. The fire truck hit it. Right after that, saw the gentleman that was driving the fire truck getting a sobriety test.
34-year-old.
The gentleman. This guy's very polite.
He is. 34-year-old Petersburg firefighter Aaron Hinspater had a blood alcohol content of 0.145. He didn't pee his pants. He admitted, though, to drinking 18 beers before his shift.
He was sweating, red. You could tell he was on something.
No one was in the parked car, and no injuries were reported.
That's a lot of beers.
18 of them.
Wow.
18 that he decided, I'm going to get by the wheel of this fire truck.
Oh, time to go to work.
God dang.
Emergency crews in Georgia rescued a man who fell 50 feet down a well while looking for his cell phone in the dark. The rescue began about 10 p.m. Thursday when the man's son called police, reporting his dad missing. The father had lost his phone earlier that day and went back at night to search for it, but never returned. Officers found the man's vehicle at the scene and heard his phone in the woods.
Police showed up. They heard his phone while they were walking through the woods. They were calling for him, and then one of the officers thought he heard something and went and found the gentleman had fallen into about a 50-foot well.
The man was taken to a local hospital for treatment and is expected to survive. He had a couple of owies, though.
I bet, he might have broken some bones with that deal.
Is the phone okay?
I'm assuming it is. It was functioning in the woods.
Why are you worried about the phone?
I'm just always worried if my phone's going to break.
You are addicted to your phone.
Yeah, I know, and it's bad. It's getting better, though, but it's still pretty bad.
Did you know Garfield hates Mondays but loves lasagna? A Metropolitan Mosquito Control District helicopter spraying for mosquitoes in Anoka County was struck by a golf ball at the Refuge Golf Club in Oak Grove Friday.
The helicopter
No way.
How many strokes penalty is that? Ashley, you play golf.
I'd take a mulligan.
MMCD uses low-flying helicopters to apply a natural bacterium or mosquito growth regulator to wetlands and standing water, killing the mosquitoes. The golf ball slightly damaged the helicopter, but the pilot safely landed it without injury.
Was he targeted?
I don't know. At first that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And now I'm figuring it was an accident, but I would like to know. That'd be impressive if you could hit a helicopter. I mean, I know I've at what's it called? Top Golf. I've tried to hit the ball, the guy that the vehicle that goes out there and picks up the ball.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Ball grabber.
That's the best part of going to the range.
I've never been able. I'm not a good golfer at all. Never once. Authorities in Duluth say a suspect set off a large firework in a water fountain. 7:30 a.m. Thursday, police responded to an explosion near City Hall. They determined it was caused by a large firework. In Minneapolis, the Weber Natural Swimming Pool was temporarily closed after a man put an unknown white substance into the pool last week.
Weber Pool is our only natural filtration pool, so it does not use chemicals, which makes incidents like this more challenging.
Park police were called to the pool about 4:30 p.m. Thursday. A man had been acting irrationally and put his hand on a lifeguard and threatened to push that guard into the pool.
You do need to get like security or something, whatever, to protect, just in case that situation happened again.
After he made several verbal threats to staff and pool visitors, a witness said the man deposited an unknown white substance into the pool.
Some unknown substance, some white substance into our pool. So out of caution, we closed it.
Was it gross?
I don't know. I'm guessing no.
Okay.
But, I mean, nowadays, you never know.
Boy, and I bet that lifeguard was terrified when he was threatened to be pushed into a pool.
Oh, no, what will I do?
No, I've got my bathing suit on and I'm a professional swimmer. Please, no.
So it wasn't like deposited something, a white substance into the...
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
They probably would have said, that's more fun.
You know what I'm saying?
This fall, scare tactics.
Wapple does know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he does. Scare Tactics is coming back to USA Network.
Really? I enjoyed that a little bit.
I did at first, and after a while it was too mean. Like when they had the babysitter think she killed the kid she's babysitting, or the
What, you don't like to have laughs or what?
The guy who thought he killed his uncle, another guy thought he killed a member of the military.
Who's the new host of Scare Tactics? Last time I watched it was Tracy Morgan, I believe.
Yep, he's one of many. Stephen Baldwin, Shannon Doherty, she started it all. Jordan Peele is who's going to be directing it.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if he will be the host or not.
Yeah, it looks like he will be.
A press release states Scare Tactics will turn unsuspecting individuals into the main characters of their own horror movies. This show offers a cinematic approach to the hidden camera concept with twisted, immersive stories that mix reality, horror, and comedy.
I got a kick out of it once in a while. I really did.
I did it first, yeah.
My favorite was the dude who thought he was seconds away from being run over by a train.
That one was good, except for the sheer terror. Did you feel bad for the guy at all?
Not really.
He really thought he was going to die. I don't. Sometimes I think it's not cool.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes it went a little far, but
I like getting my balls busted. I don't mind, getting crap, stuff like that. But I think I have a pretty good sense of humor. But I don't know. If I thought I was going to die, I might be kind of ticked off.
Yeah.
Especially if I said or did some embarrassing things.
Oh, yeah. You start whacking off.
I'm crying.
I agree that at times it was a little mean, but it was very entertaining. It was.
It was announced at San Diego Comic-Con last week that Prime Video has ordered a prequel to The Boys titled Vought Rising, starring Jensen Ackles, a.k.a. Soldier Boy, and Aya Cash, a.k.a. Stormfront. They will also serve as producers. What was I going to do? 1-800-PHONE-SEX put out a new ad on their X account telling those heading to Comic-Con that ladies are happy to keep them company during the long weekend.
Tonight, do you ever dream of a sexy superhero? Rawr.
Yeah, rawr.
Rawr.
They put together a cosplay-themed sex phone line for the people who attend to call and masturbate to.
That is very retro.
It is.
A phone sex line.
Yeah. Don't hear about those very often anymore.
Saturday, Marvel Comic-Con was it was revealed that Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU, but not as Iron Man. He'll portray Doctor Doom in at least one and possibly the next two Avenger films.
New mask, same task. What did I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
And Deadpool and Wolverine opened with $205 million at the domestic box office, making it the 8th biggest opening of all time. Also set the record for biggest opening for an R-rated movie, which dethroned the first Deadpool, which held the record before with $133 million.
Oh, I want to see that so bad. It's going to be in the theaters forever, though, because they're projected to make so much money off of it.
I dropped off my son and his buddy yesterday to see a movie, and it was packed. I'd imagine everybody was going to that or Twisters.
Mm-hmm.
But they were seeing an older movie, but there was not one space left in the parking lot.
Oh, wow.
Super packed. The 12th season premiere of Futurama is streaming now on Hulu. Happy belated birthday to Depot, our pal and Vikings long snapper Andrew DePaulo, who turned 37 yesterday. Rush legend Geddy Lee, 71.
One of my heroes.
Clock-sucking Jesus and the girl Jesus text in a happy hillbilly birthday to Pissin' with the Pups Jesus. Happy belated birthday to Maddie, and that's 93X News.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They got their heads up their ass.
On 93X.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text WALL, WALL, to 651-989-9393 for a chance to win premium seats to Cage the Elephant. Cage the Elephant will take place Monday, August 12th at the Target Center. Tickets furnished by Live Nation. This keyword is good today, July 29th until midnight. Good luck.
Randy Shaver.
Big time onions. Goodness.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Well, we've got the diver ready to go in and get it.
I mean, look at that right there. Is there anything better on the pool deck other than that Speedo right there?
And again, for those that don't always watch swimming, Emma Webber may have lost a cap, but she's wearing more than one.
Yeah, she's probably got another one on under there. Oh, there it is. He's got the cap. Now, is Emma going to let him keep the cap? That's the question.
Does that guy get a name? The cap catcher?
That's what we need to call him, Bob, the cap catcher. I like that.
Randy Shaver and friggin' Brad Ryder.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show, brothers.
Thank you.
Did you have a nice weekend for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It's all good.
Just great.
Watch the Little Olympics.
Yeah. Let's be good Americans maybe and, go this way and that way on the Summer Olympics real quick before we do anything else. You got anything to say right from the get-go about the Summer Olympics? Go ahead.
So far, it's been kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I watched some of the gymnastics. I watched some of the swimming.
Because you told us on Friday you weren't going to make much of an effort.
Well, yeah, you're right. But then
he's retired and has nothing else to do.
Well, that's part of it. And then my wife likes to watch it, and so it's either I sit down and watch it with her, or I disappear, and that doesn't go over well either. So
she's not sick of you yet?
Not yet, believe it or not.
Maybe it was your patriotism that got the better of you.
No, it wasn't. It was
fantasy football.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was just trying to appease the wife. So.
Okay, all right.
But I will say this, Swapple, I started playing the game yesterday.
There we go.
Wait a minute. Now we're done talking about the Olympics already? We're going to talk about the video games?
No, I'm just going to say it briefly. I fired it up yesterday for the first time. I had it in my house for like 10 days and never got to it. I started it up yesterday, and good Lord, is it great.
No, we're talking about, you got to tell folks what it is you're talking about.
Talking about the college football game that was put out by EA Sports, which has been about, 13 years since the last time they put this game out.
What is Iowa State's record right now on your video game?
I don't know. I actually decided I would play the Gophers through a dynasty and see what happens.
Really?
So,
Oh, yeah. The Gophers are actually a really good team in that game, too.
So far, yeah.
Is that who you are, Wapple?
Yep.
Is that when they can excel in fantasy land?
When it's make-believe.
Yep. I'm happy for you, Randy Shaver.
Yeah.
I know you were excited.
I was, and I was just, like I said before, I needed to find a chunk of time where I could actually sit down and play and not, only sit for like half an hour. That wouldn't have been much fun. So,
how are your fingers and your thumbs? Any problems? Any bruising or blistering?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I know
good.
A lot of you guys are dorks for video games. What game shreds your hands above all others? It could be current, it could be former.
You know what, Mario Party?
I would say the NBA game does it to me.
NBA basketball.
To keep it in the Olympics theme, the old track and field. That
yeah.
Gosh, that game's fun, Josh.
For sure.
Nick, you and I have both seen people mangle their hands on the Golden Tee games.
Yes.
I've witnessed blood.
I love
I've
that
seen
game.
blood.
Yeah, those are fun.
I was quite formidable when playing the old stand-up track and field game because of my ability to drum. I'm no Tommy Lee. I'm no Ricky Rocket. I'm no. But I can keep I can quickly, and that was the key to the old track and field, right, Josh?
Right.
To wrap on those. I remember Mike Tyson's Punch-Out would destroy my hands.
That's another good one.
Yeah,
I'd like to take you on that track and field one, Nick, because I was a drummer too. I had the same talent.
All right, let's see what guys over 50 can do. You know what I mean? If you could find one of those, Brad Ryder, I'd love to play against you. Oh, cripes. In our intro there, back to the Olympics, in our intro, you heard audio of this. Everyone's talking about this dude, Bob the Cap Catcher.
I kind of feel sorry for Bob in a way. I know the crowd loved him there, but now everyone's referring to him as the fat guy that jumped in the pool.
Are they real? That's
well, he's next to all these Olympians, right? He's just got a normal body.
Yeah, he looks completely fine.
What the hell? Calling that guy fat? What's the matter with you?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. That sucks for him.
That's ridiculous.
And I totally disagree.
Ridiculous. So apparently the story is Bob hangs out at the swimming pools there during the swimming events. And I don't know, he just kind of keeps things in line. Some swimmer lost her swimming cap down at the bottom of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Weber's her name.
Emma Weber, we're going to go with that. Bob gets down to his damn drawers in front of the crowd and the television camera. And he dives down to the bottom of the pool to fetch this swimming cap.
Well, one of the announcers circled his gut, too, with the telestrator.
What?
Oh, that's not nice.
That's really messed up.
Bob doesn't have a gut.
No, he doesn't.
No.
Looks like a regular.
He's a regular-looking guy, I think.
It's unclear, it says here, if he's already scored a movie deal or if they're still negotiating. That's how big of a deal Bob the Cap Catcher turned into over the weekend. I don't know. Maybe we'll see his life story. But I thought the guy looked great.
He had good form on his dive, too.
Well,
he knows what he's doing.
Works at a pool for Christ. I bet when Bob drags all his friends in there after hours and they drink beer. You know what I mean? He knows how to get in and out of that pool. Bob the Cap Catcher.
He's got cute underwear on, too.
Was that really? See, I don't know. Was that really his drawers, or was that? Or is he wear a Speedo?
I think it's a Speedo.
It's got to be a Speedo because then he can get down to the bottom faster. probably.
Well, you can get. Why would his drawers slow him down at all?
Well, if he's got tight ones, they're the more aerodynamic.
You're a tight one.
Thank you.
We mentioned this earlier. Snoop Dogg carried the torch, and he looked like he was having a great time. He looked honored to be involved, and then I saw him up and down all over the place. No matter what, he was at the pool, he's at the skateboard ramp, he's at the ping pong match, he's got to be cooked by now.
Yeah. He's having fun, though.
Yeah, he's having a good... He's no kid anymore, though.
Yeah, it was kind of funny last night watching all the gymnastics ladies. They spot him in the crowd, and then they start dancing with him. That was pretty funny.
Oh, that's super cute. Love that.
I bet he's tired after just one day of racing around. They say here, the opening ceremonies, which we mentioned earlier, Gojira, a metal band from France, were part of the opening ceremonies. Gojira, we talked about that. A bunch of pyro. Wapple, you loved it. Metal fans loved it.
Oh, it was
Absolutely.
cool.
The very first
really
time a
cool.
metal band's ever been involved in the opening ceremonies. Congratulations. Everyone seemed to dig their vibe. Some are saying the opening ceremonies were, a little too much for them, but whatever. And others are saying it was an embarrassing opening to the Olympics because the official Olympics flag was raised upside down at the opening ceremonies. Most of us wouldn't know the difference anyway between a right side up Olympic flag and an upside down Olympic flag. So whatever, but that's the angle some people are going for. Because a lot of folks just look for anything negative, anything to bitch about. There was a former Golden Gopher diver by the name of Sarah Bacon who won the silver medal in the synchronized springboard event.
Oh.
They jump off the diving board, she and her teammate, in a synchronized fashion. So that was the first medal won by the United States at the Olympics. And it's a gal here who swims for the Golden Gopher program. Sarah Bacon, and her teammate's name is Cassidy Cook.
Bacon and Cook.
Or Cook and Bacon.
Yeah. Did you not? Yeah, that was the gimmick everyone was going with. Yeah, Cook and Bacon. So there you go. This Bacon gal will compete further. Oh, it says here in the individual 3-meter springboard event. That's not for another handful of days. So she'll be jumping off more diving boards before it's over. Human turds in the water caused them to cancel open water swim practice in the Seine, whatever they call it, river there in Paris. Again, with the turds in this river.
It's a couple times now they've had to do that.
Well,
there's a lot of poop.
Where there's one, there's probably more than one. So that's concerning.
Yeah, Brad Ryder, it's not just one big fat turd.
Can you imagine being the one guy responsible? Shut down the whole river.
Sorry, Olympics.
Randy's not going to make it. It's a lot of fecal bacteria. Okay? And like we mentioned weeks ago, they're at one point or another, they're supposed to swim the, what do they call that bit? What do they call that? You run, you ride a bicycle.
Triathlon.
Is that what it is? Right.
Yeah.
Eventually, they're trying to host or hold the swim portion of the triathlon in this river. But just yesterday, they said there's too much poop.
Wasn't it the mayor that went in there, too?
Everybody's gone in and out of the
There
dam.
was a couple politicians that did.
It says here France spent millions of dollars to clean up this body of water. And then again, I read it's not really a river, it's just a friggin' sewer, but who cares? They spent millions of dollars to clean this sumbitch up. So there it is, the triathlon. So the triathlon could be held. And now we just got to wait and see. The men's triathlon is scheduled for tomorrow, and the women's is Wednesday, as my buddy Big Phil would say, Wednesday. So again, they just can't see. I don't know. What do you do? Some of you are parents. How do you? What's the best way to clean up poop?
Honey, come here, the kid poop. Oh, no,
stay out of it.
Just stay away from it.
Yeah, stay away from it.
A lot of bleach.
A giant filter.
Do you pick it up? Like the one time I told Josh to meet me at a bar. I said, meet me over here at Donnie's bar one afternoon. And Josh comes into the bar, and he looks furious. And he walks straight up to the manager of the bar. Josh has got a big friggin' human turd in his hand, and he says to the manager of the bar, he says, this place is ridiculous. Look what I almost stepped in.
I regret nothing.
You want to stick with bodily functions? We will. We talked about this earlier, but you guys can chime in now, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. Members of Team USA's swim team said that they always, without fail, pee in the pool.
Like during the race, you mean?
During the race, practice, hanging around, jaw-jacking, they always pee in the pool. Every damn time.
They even pee on the pool deck.
They even pee outside the pool. Your thoughts?
Are we talking about the triathletes here or the actual swimmers that swim in the
I think you're talking about the pool, right?
Yes, the pool. Okay. The pool, Brad Ryder, not the river, the pool.
That's kind of gross, but...
Yeah.
You guys aren't pool peers?
I'm not a pool peer, no.
Have I ever done it before? Yeah, but not a habit.
I'm not proud of it.
Oh, I don't get you people.
Yeah, me and Nick are kind of proud of it.
Yeah, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of?
The chlorine, I guess, kills it off. So
yeah, I don't get folks who don't pee in the pool and don't pee in the shower. What the hell are you waiting on?
Well, who said anything about peeing in the shower?
Yeah,
we're just branching off into another. Okay. You're being difficult today, Brad. Why are you being
why are you so fussy,
Brad?
Why are you being difficult?
I've done that.
I mean, these are Olympic athletes, right? This is what they do.
They don't have time to stop and go to the bathroom. There's no time for that.
Right. And did you already say how long it takes them to get into their outfits?
No.
It's ridiculous.
They're using certain excuses, even though I don't think they need one. They don't. No one needs an excuse for peeing in a friggin' pool. But they say part of the reason is getting into their swimsuits can take up to 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Must be those full body ones, because the other ones, I don't know why that would take 20 minutes.
Oh, I don't get it. 20 friggin' minutes. They also say they are ultra hydrated before a competition or practice or whatever. So
sure,
if they
that makes sense.
So I don't know. I guess
and then when you get around water, that makes you want to do it. So I guess I get it.
I'm such an advocate. I am an advocate of pool and shower peeing.
It's a little difficult. You have to excuse me. I had a family reunion this weekend, so I'm just recovering from that.
Oh, I want to hear about this in a minute.
It got pretty wild.
I'm such an advocate for peeing in the pool and peeing in the shower. And people stop texting about waffle stomping.
Yeah, get that out of here.
So gross.
I'm such an advocate that when I hear Olympic swimmers say it's okay, then I'm trying to press that. What's the word they use nowadays?
Agenda?
Push that agenda. Yes, thank you, Josh.
They're representing America.
They're representing America. This is what they do.
When you put all that together, it does make sense why they would pee in the pool.
A few people have said, yes, it helps with propulsion. Sure. Any advantage, right? I mean, shaving your legs, urinating.
Right. Oh, man.
Wonder if anyone's going to grab a jar of the water now and like, this water has been peed in by multiple gold medal winners.
Like
that would be frightening.
Kind of gross again.
I see Dana in a lab coat trying to clone Katie Ledecky or something.
Let me ask you this now. What if you are a world-class swimmer? You're a dude, and you're blessed. Do you have a doctor take care of that for you? You know what I'm talking about? You're blessed. You're gifted. You're hung.
Well, it's like a fin of some sort, perhaps. Yeah. Maybe there's an advantage somehow.
But they don't want...
or it could be an anchor, depending upon how you look at it.
You don't want drag.
But, I mean, like sharks have, maybe he has to swim on his back.
Well, if it's the backstroke, it probably helps you.
Yeah. I wish you didn't use the word stroke, but that's what it's called. That's what it's called.
I wonder if there's been any big-time swimmers who have said, look, I could shave a few seconds off my time if I didn't have to drag this big damn thing behind me. You know what I mean?
That would be a great interview. So why were you so slow today? Well, I got this huge hog. I mean, look at it.
A couple of our listeners predicted last week, that Anthony Edwards will get somebody pregnant at the Olympics. Well, yesterday he did simulate sex while on the bench during Team USA's win over Serbia.
Edwards. Oh, give him that work. Give him that work. Give him that work. Anthony Edwards. He went to the Tom Green School.
What did he say? He went to the what?
Tom Green School? I don't know what he said. It wasn't Tom Green. I don't know what he said.
Tom Green.
Let me see if I can.
So during the game yesterday, USA was kind of whooping up on Serbia after a little while. They had a slow start.
Took a while.
They had a slow start. I think it was Joel Embiid made a big bucket, and big surprise, he also went to the free throw line for you NBA fans. And Anthony Edwards was having a good time on the bench, and he was kind of simulating sexual intercourse. A lot of folks thought it was cute.
Yeah, he did that before.
Foreshadowing, maybe?
I like when he does that.
Maybe, he was sending a secret signal to somebody else.
It's go time after the game.
It was sexy. He can do it well.
Yeah, he was good. They beat Serbia. The Durantula was near perfect. He was 8 for 9 shooting field goals, ended up with 23 points. Did you watch any basketball, Brad or Randy?
I did, and thank goodness he was as hot as he was when he came off the bench, because they were in a little bit of trouble. Not that they weren't going to survive Serbia, but he certainly gave them a spark. So, I mean, what a luxury that is to have Kevin Durant come off your bench.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes this team is not going to blow anybody out of the water from the very beginning. They seem like they are slow starters. Hopefully that'll correct itself as they move along. But
by the way, I want to refresh everyone's memory. Did I or did I not say last week, when everyone was wetting their pants over close games against South Sudan and close games over whoever else they played? I want to refresh everyone's memory. I'm the one who said when the Durantula gets into the mix, they're going to start winning by 20.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't watch anything really over the weekend. I got to catch up this week on some of this. But did I read that Jason Tatum did not even play?
Didn't play.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Interesting.
And he wasn't injured or sick.
Right.
Steve Kerr just said, he didn't like the matchup, something along those lines, real cliche, coachy type of stuff. But he said he'll make his mark. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
Well, I don't give a rat's ass who plays.
If you don't match up well against Serbia, what's that? I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, if a guy like that can't get in the game, that's why I was trying to understand, because I didn't see it.
Exactly. Yeah. What?
Well, I mean, maybe he's making it up. Maybe Tatum's been acting like a dick, didn't want to play.
It might be.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a text on the Olympics. A listener says, I'm surprised nobody is talking about the 15-year-old that won gold. I don't know what you're talking about. Who's that? Text us back.
I'm not sure.
15-year-old kid won gold? Won gold at what?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking the listener to get back to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the uproar from A1 from day one if he didn't play in a game over there?
Well, what do you mean, uproar from who?
Well, I don't think he would take it. I don't think he would take it very well.
Well, it didn't look like Tatum was taking it very well either.
No, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like she was a gold medalist for China, won the 10-meter platform final.
Okay.
Diving, you mean?
Yeah, it looks like.
There's a 14-year-old who won gold in skateboarding.
Oh, I thought
that's insane.
Okay. Last week.
a 14-year-old girl.
Last week we talked about the youngest American athlete was 16 and the oldest was 59. So these are younger kids from other countries. 15 and 14?
Mm-hmm.
Balls. Now, there are some Olympic athletes who are turning to OnlyFans to make some quick money. A British diver who is competing at this year's Olympic Games charges $10 a month to access his content. And he says, I've got something that people want. So why not? He says, I'm happy to cash in on it. Now, he says he doesn't do any full-on nudity. But
it's sexy, though. Supposedly it's sexy.
Did you look it up?
No, I just read about it.
Did I say his name yet?
No, he didn't.
Jack Laffer. Maybe because he's British, they say that a different way, but it's spelled Laugher. Jack Laffer. Maybe it's Jack Lawfer. I don't know. He's on OnlyFans. 29-year-old guy. He and some other current and former Olympic athletes are talking about how, hey, we don't make any real friggin' money. I got these abs. I'm not going to hang on to these abs forever. I got this ass, whatever. I'm going to make some money off of it. Where was this when you were an athlete at Iowa State, Randy Shaver?
Yeah, exactly. God, the money I could have made.
You would have shown the pee-pee.
Only Farms. Maybe that was the website.
Onlyfarms.com. Exactly.
Dude says, this Laffer guy says he's top 3 in the world. I don't know what he... Did I say... What does he do? I thought I said it out loud.
He's a
diver.
Diver, yeah. Yes, I did say it. Thank you. He's top 3, he says, in diving in the entire world, and he pulls down $36,000 a year. Oof. No full frontal nudity. Oh, so maybe he'll show you a little of the cheeks.
It says that he usually has a sock over his private parts.
Oh, well, then he's quite aggressive. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, supposedly it's very sexual without full-on nudity.
Very sexual without full-on nudity. Oh, okay. I didn't have that in front of me. Several of his teammates are going down the same route. Titillating, they say, but not explicit content. There is a former Olympian, British short track speed skater Elise Christie, who is an OnlyFans character. She called it a financial lifesaver. I went from being someone who won medals to having absolutely nothing. I lost my house. I was working 3 jobs. OnlyFans brought me back from a really dark place, and now I use it positively. She also does not share X-rated content. But what was the phrase you put together, Josh, again?
Well, they called the other guy amorous, his content.
Amorous content. Provocative, but not X-rated kind of stuff. You know, so what's the story with Olympic athletes? It's something that I've never really thought about. If they don't land the big endorsement,
they don't make any money. They'll work a job. They are given money by the U.S. Olympic Committee to help them train, to pay for training and that kind of thing. But a lot of these folks either need endorsements or they work a job. There was the story last night of the swimmer, the 31-year-old swimmer who's a project manager for a construction company. And they showed a typical day for this guy. He's up at like 5 in the morning, working, goes and trains, comes back and does some more work, goes and trains. I mean, it's not just training. A lot of these guys don't have that ability to do that.
If I understand right, I mean, some of these sports that are in Colorado Springs, the U.S. Olympic Committee will pay for their living expenses and things like that. But if you don't train there, then you don't really get anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Atheist Jesus has texted in to say there is an 11-year-old at the Olympics.
Oh, come on now.
No way. Wow.
That's what he says. Says it's a skateboarder.
Imagine getting your ass whooped by an 11-year-old.
I hate myself.
I do pretty much any physical challenge at home, Wop, or Dana.
I guess that is true.
The parents of that kid, the kid comes home and said, "Yeah, I'm going to the Olympics."
All right, have fun.
If an 11-year-old beats me at anything at the Olympics, I'm going to get even at the beer chug-a-lug after the.
Yeah, he's a Chinese skateboarder.
Yeah, 11 years, 11 months.
Dude.
Dang.
Oh, wow. Okay, here's a sampling of the schedule of events as they will appear on NBC all day today and into the night. And there's other channels running Olympic coverage. There's a couple that I ran into over the weekend. But I'm focusing on the kind of stuff you can't always see on television. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to mention swimming or gymnastics or basketball or soccer or stupid things like that. I'm focusing on the things you can't always see on television that you might be able to catch, I mean, right now even, all the way through the day. Water polo, badminton. I think we talked a little bit about badminton last week, and I watched some of it last night. Me and Big Al couldn't be touched in 1986. I'll tell you that right now. At my junior high, there was no bigger, badder, more successful combo ever than me and Big Al. Fencing. Josh and I fenced each other one day, and don't get cute with that.
Yeah, we did. That was fun.
We did. We put on the gear and the swords and everything.
We can work a foil if we need
fenced.
to.
I would like to try that.
Yeah, that sounds like
fun.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
Handball.
Mm-hmm.
Rowing. Shooting. They're doing the women's air rifle final today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check that out if I can.
How does someone get into handball? Like
I have no idea.
Gym class?
Where you're just not very good at basketball, and you're like, all right, let's try this handball thing.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe I don't know what handball is.
I thought handball was like racquetball.
Yeah.
You use your hand.
That's correct.
I thought it was like almost
You're thinking of...
No, you're thinking of...
what do they call that? Where they throw the smaller ball around and do a goal.
Yeah.
Someone look that up.
That's not handball.
What the hell is that?
Handball is a team sport in which 2 teams of 7 players pass a ball.
Okay.
Using their
so they have the same name.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They have the same name. The handball that Josh and I are like back in the day, you'd see footage of guys in New York City, usually mafia guys in the movies. They would just swat a racquetball against a brick wall, maybe wearing gloves, but that's about it.
And those sweet glasses.
So they're both called handball. The one where they throw the ball around and the one where you bat it up against a brick wall.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. I didn't know men played field hockey.
Yeah, I watched a little bit.
Isn't that a guy who cut off his finger to play a field hockey player?
Doesn't ring a bell.
The story we talked about last week?
Boy, friggin' beer.
I was watching the men's field hockey, and some guy did something illegal, and the ref went and showed him a green triangle, which is to mean this is your caution. Don't do this anymore. You be in serious trouble. It was a green triangle.
So Nick, when I covered Olympics for Channel 11 back in the day, there were 2 former Gopher basketball players who were great handball players on the U.S. Olympic team. You'll remember Laura Coonan,
sure,
the great basketball player, and Carol Paterka, who was also an outstanding basketball player. Those 2 trained at Colorado Springs and were on the U.S. Olympic handball team.
I remember you mentioning that before.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, and the last time I watched handball where they throw the ball around and into a net, it was actually sort of entertaining. Judo happens today. I'm looking forward to the judo. Table tennis is a riot to watch.
Oh, my gosh, it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
It's impossible to keep up at times watching that.
Boxing today, sailing, skateboarding, canoeing, and finally, artistic gymnastics and swimming. Now, I bet some of the artistic swimming looks a lot like drowning, so I just hope the lifeguards know the difference. What if that's what I'm trying to portray through my art, Josh? It's that I'm drowning.
You'd never be able to get through a dance.
I'm not. What's the line from that song? David Lee Roth, Skyscraper record. I'm not drowning, just waving. So it's a line from a David Lee Roth song from the album Skyscraper. All right. Did you hear the big story that is far too complicated for me to give any details on? That story is the folks at Comcast and the Diamond Sports Group are nearing a deal to get the Twins back on television.
That's the discussion, yes.
Does anyone know anything further than that? Because if I attempted to tell this story, I would embarrass myself terribly. What did you hear?
I don't know the details, but I'd heard the same thing last Friday. I don't know if anything's new since then.
Okay. And you never told us.
I guess I'll believe it when I see it.
Right. And you never told us, because we were too rude, I forgot, we didn't ask. You never told us about your family reunion, Brad. Tell us about this.
No, you don't. We don't need to talk about it.
What happened at the family reunion?
Something happened.
No, nothing.
Something happened.
It was just a bunch of cousins that I haven't seen for a really long time on my dad's
one of them
side.
pissed you off. What did they say?
No, nothing. It was good.
Do they know you're a radio star?
No, they don't, because I'm not a radio star. But anyway.
Did somebody drink too much?
A few people did.
Yeah.
Always happens at a reunion.
Yeah.
It was Brad.
No, it was. I was just referencing it because I didn't watch a minute of the Olympics all weekend because I was at this thing. It was a whole weekend thing. It was a full weekend reunion.
Wow.
A whole weekend reunion.
Wow.
Yeah, a buddy of mine does that. That sounds horrible. But you're being honest with us. There was nothing bad happened. It sounded like something bad happened.
No, nothing at all. I referenced it mainly because I really didn't have anything to offer with the Olympics because I haven't watched a minute of it yet.
All right.
Do you guys have to wear the T-shirts that says like Riders Crew?
Oh God.
No.
That sounds terrible.
No. Two of my cousins were phenomenal on the grill though. They cooked a huge beef brisket. They took like 24 hours to make. They slow cooked it, and it was awesome.
All right, now wait a minute.
Kind of thing.
We got problems here. We got problems in our explanation about handball earlier. Wisco Trim Carpenter Jesus says the game where you have the littler than average ball and you throw it around, that's called squash.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't know. We don't even know what we're talking about anymore. We don't know what handball is.
Team handball.
Team handball.
Team handball. It's the 7 players.
I'm going to let it go. Great win yesterday for the Twins. 5-0. Bailey Ober was outstanding. One hit he only gave up in 8 innings.
I saw some write-ups yesterday that proclaimed Bailey Ober as the number 1 starter in this rotation right now, the way he's been pitching. And I don't think you can argue too much with what we've seen from him from the last few starts. I mean, he was pretty damn impressive yesterday.
Yeah. 11 strikeouts. That's a career best. Willie Castro and Manuel Margot they each had 3 hits. I'd still like to see some great improvement here. The Twins went 2 for 15 with runners in scoring position. That's kind of frustrating, but they won the game.
Right.
And won the season series and the weekend series over the Tigers. Now they got to go to play the friggin' New York Metropolitans. Anytime the Twins play on the East Coast, my stomach hurts. It really does. And tonight they're playing in New York. Friggin' New York City played the Mets.
I was looking at the schedule, though, after this. They have 10 of their next 13 at home. They have a bunch of
White Sox
in August. They have a ton of home games in August. So they're going to have to make some hay when they come back home here. Yeah, they play all 3 of the teams in the Central Division in the next homestand.
Yeah.
And only interrupted by 1 3-game series in Chicago against the Cubs. So they've got a nice long stretch where they don't have to travel very much, and they're home a lot. So,
well, and take advantage of playing the White Sox.
Exactly.
This is a team that's already lost 81 games already. So,
Simeon Woods Richardson starts tonight for the Twins, Game 1 against the Metropolitans. Jose Miranda left the ball game yesterday, took a fastball to the friggin' cranium.
Oh, God, he was lucky to live through that.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was really scary. Really scary.
Looks like the helmet did its job.
Well, I mean, he barely was able to get out of the way.
Yeah, he got plunked. There's no question about it.
Without getting hit straight in the face with a fastball.
He got up, and it sounds like he's doing all right. I think he tested negative, or however you say. All that. By the way, back to the Olympics real quick. A listener named Simon, he sent us a message saying that if you're looking to take a nap while watching the Olympics, watch surfing.
Dude, that was fun.
He says it's very relaxing to watch.
Yeah, a few people said it's fun.
The waves roll in.
Yeah.
Isn't this in Tahiti too? That's where they're doing the surfing. Yeah.
Yeah, all the surfing athletes are living on a cruise ship,
Yeah,
and they are just partying their balls
That
off.
sounds awesome.
I guess the German people, I saw TikTok videos, they're sending beers down the railings of the balconies. They also have a fishing pole, and they have a JBL speaker, and they're just dropping it to other levels, just partying.
Well, I never considered this. I guess I should have. The Olympic surfing is not taking place in France.
That's correct.
Is that normal for them to do it that way?
Well, you got to be able to have.
You got to go where the waves are.
Yeah.
Right.
And like Tahiti's like owned by France, so technically it's like their property. So
That's not going to end well. I have a prediction. That's not going to end well. Tahiti will turn on France.
There's going to be a revolt.
Yeah. Xavier Edwards of the Miami Marlins became their second player ever to hit for the cycle yesterday. He's a rookie. He reached base in all 5 of his plate appearances. Also hit his first career dong and also his first career triple. Did this really happen?
It did.
It's incredible. Hits for the cycle, including his first ever home run, his first ever triple. Luis Ariz did it for the Marlins last year, and now this Edwards kid. So he went dong, walk, double, triple, single.
At least they didn't pitch around him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like
or throw at him.
Right.
Like the friggin' throw at him.
Yeah.
Get this son of a bitch out of here.
This is going to be a really interesting week for the Twins. I saw a lot of vitriol on social media yesterday about the Twins now saying something to the effect of they have some salary constrictions as far as trying to make a deal. And it's not playing well with Twins fans that what you're telling Twins, if this is true, and you're telling Twins fans you're not going to make a trade for more pitching or something like that because you don't have the money to spend when your team is a wild card team for sure and a definite possibility to win the division, that you're not going to spend the money needed to try and bolster your pitching staff. The trade deadline is, I believe, Wednesday. Is it tomorrow? Wednesday?
All right.
It's this week. And so, they were just getting hammered yesterday.
I did not read that.
Yes, that supposedly the Twins are saying that because of salary constrictions, they may not be a buyer at the trade deadline, which is not what Twins fans want to hear.
Trade deadline's tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Oh, tomorrow. Oh, usually it's the 31st. Okay.
Well, I did not read those things, Randy Shaver, and that's a big sticking point with Twins fans year after year after year after year after year.
And it is this year. Well, not every year, Nick. They've gone out and spent money and made deals at the trading deadline.
No, that's not my point. My point is Twins fans, a lot of them are never happy with the amount of money spent. Certainly the Twins have gone out there and made some moves. I'm not saying that.
Sure.
I'm saying Twins fans always complain that they're cheap.
Well,
it is a little surprising if somebody officially came out and said there's money issues, because usually they'll at least, give it the old college try and then say afterwards, well, we just got beat out, rather than to just be that frontal and say it's money issues. That'll get the fan base riled up for sure.
That's a good point, Brad Ryder. So maybe it's a smoke screen so other you see what I'm saying?
Well, I hope you're right.
Brad Ryder, you're the one who has said before that, don't always believe that press release right before the trade deadline, because teams try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Mislead other club. Right.
But I will say this, the history this season so far, they reduced their payroll to start the year. They knew that Comcast was going to be an issue and let it happen anyway. And now we're sitting at the trade deadline, and there's this discussion about whether or not they're going to make a deal based on salary. So, if you're a diehard Twins fan, you're probably anxious this week to see if they actually pull something off. And if they don't, I think that there'll be some very angry Twins fans.
It would be disappointing as a Twins fan myself. It would be disappointing. Here we go with the text message. The Pohlads this and the Pohlads that.
Exactly.
And the Pohlads are cheap and the Pohlads are rich and they don't spend their... It makes me wish I was a Pohlad. I want some of that Pohlad money, Josh.
I would mind that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Let's hope that they do make a couple of deals to fortify their pitching staff, because their hitters, Royce Lewis is back in the lineup. That's a big deal. Correa's not too far behind. Miranda should be back shortly after getting plunked yesterday. They've got the hitters. They've got to shore up their pitching staff.
Speaking of money, is this for real? Someone at the bar Saturday night told me that Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers is now the highest paid quarterback ever.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
What? Didn't he get the highest guaranteed deal or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you guys...
Good.
Who's that?
That was Aaron Rodgers talking about.
Oh, we don't need to hear Aaron Rodgers say anything. No, absolutely
Aaron
not.
Rodgers specifically asked that we'd let him talk about
it would mean
I
a lot
want
to
to
me.
hear what he has to say.
Josh, I'll do what I can to get you in the Polad family if you do not play any audio of Karen Rodgers saying anything about anything.
The first thing I want to ask the Polads, and I know you feel the same way, is I want to ask them, what was it like to fire Dana? Take us through that.
Jordan Love signed a $220 million extension.
And, of course, we all know how
But how much is guaranteed?
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Yeah. That's the record,
For
I
doing
think.
what? I mean, not that it matters. In a week, someone will take this label away from him. But what did he ever do to deserve? That's a great. Dana, you were once fired by the Polads?
The last radio station I worked at was owned by the Polads, yeah.
Oh,
so they technically were my bosses, and they I think they took great pleasure in letting me go.
I think we can all understand why they would do such a thing at this point.
Well, we're getting dragged for not spending money on the Twins. That kind of sucks, but man, that felt good firing Wessel.
That made up for it. All right.
That allowed us to make some trade deadline deals.
Yeah, I can imagine one of the mansions has just a framed picture of your disappointed, fired face.
Yeah, you walk through the front door. There it is.
They've got video footage of me getting walked out of the building playing on a loop.
Randy Shaver, you got enough people for this pickleball showdown or what?
Nick, we have almost 900 people signed up.
Wow. That is so awesome.
This is insane. It is by far the largest pickleball event ever in the state of Minnesota. It's happening Thursday through Sunday this week at Pints and Paddle in Maple Grove and in the city of Maple Grove because they're playing at some outdoor courts that were recently opened by the city of Maple Grove. So it is. I'm just in awe of what Pints and Paddle has done to put all this together. And some of the greatest players in the country are coming in to play. There's a Thursday night we're doing a kind of a celebrity pro-am. And I get to play with the number one player in the country, Rob Nunnery, for doubles. He's my doubles partner.
Man.
And I don't know if I'm going to even take a paddle out on the court. I think I'm just going to stand there and pretend like and just let him cover the whole court because what am I doing out there with this guy?
You're going to look like a stiff.
Oh, God. I'm going to look like a cone.
Yeah.
It's a cone. You know what a cone is.
Like in practice, you set up the cone. Yeah. Well, that's pretty exciting, playing with the best in the business. Now, all of the proceeds go to the Randy Shaver Cancer and Community Fund, and folks can still show up and just watch at Pints and Paddle.
There's music all weekend. They're having a bags tournament. If you go and eat at Pints and Paddle, a certain amount of the proceeds from that is going to our charity. So
that's what I think I'm going to get involved in. I'm going to swing by, have something or another to eat, have a cold one. Because I know the money all goes to your fund and the live music. You know, they'll probably ask me to sit in for a song.
They probably will. Yeah.
I don't want to wait.
You do. That's like your new favorite song. You love that one.
For my life to be over. Well, that's exciting. It's the biggest damn pickleball showdown in the history of the state of Minnesota.
It is. And, to have almost 900 participants, that's pretty scary.
900 participants. I'm going to say, if it were my tournament, this is the way I'd do it, Josh. 900 participants at a pickleball tournament. I'm going to ask for 300 paramedics.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah, they might be busy.
If you tear an ankle off while playing with the best pickleball player in America, boy, are we going to have some friggin' fun on Monday.
Oh, I know. I don't plan on moving too fast in that game. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm glad I asked. Wow, that's a hell of an accomplishment, Randy Shaver.
Yeah. Well, a lot of credit goes to the Pints and Paddle folks because they have done an amazing job in putting all this together. So.
Assuming they have people of all different skill levels.
Yes. It's and I don't know that much about what your pickleball rating is. I don't know any of that stuff, but it is mixed doubles, senior division. It's all over the place. There are so many people signed up, so
there's a
pretty fun.
There's a doubles division and a seniors division. I want to see the double senior division. They're twice as old as everybody else in the house. All right, that's great, Randy. Brad, thanks for your time, man. Sorry about what happened at the reunion.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Brad.
I'll get over it that nothing actually happened at the
You know what, Brad? You got plenty of support in the Brotherhood. 2 guys texted in and said, just let us know who and we'll go beat him up for Brad.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't hurt Brad.
We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks very much.
Right.
See ya.
We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
Every week, Michael Rosenbaum is getting deep with someone new on the Inside of You podcast.
Let's get inside of Kevin Smith. I can go to a movie and enjoy it, and I'm never like, I could have done that better.
Really?
Never. I started as a fan. I'll finish as a fan. And the difference between this iteration of Kevin Smith at age 53 and the one that most people met at the beginning of my career, back then, I would have told you all the movies that I hate, and here are the reasons why they suck. And you would never hear that from me today.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, where am I now? Yeah. Welcome back to the show. And we really mean it. Absolutely. Monday morning here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. All right, where are we going next? Earlier on I made a joke about Olympic basketball referees only having to go to work every 4 years. How SAWFT soft is that? Obviously, I'm joking. Let's find out who's tough enough for the really hard gigs out there. There's work to be done, by God. Which of us thinks we could hack the tough gigs? Here are the high-paying jobs that nobody wants to do. Nobody wants to do. There are many high-paying jobs that folks just stay clear of. Why? I have some reasons. But overall, people avoid these high-paying professions like the plague, even though they offer excellent salaries and benefits. So we're going to look at some of these jobs and find out why they're not as popular as you might think. And I know we often toe the line around here about how we're all lazy and wimpy, but be honest now when we get into this. Let's say you need a gig. I mean, you need a gig. Josh has said this about the three of you many times. Radio may not be your actual calling.
I've never said that.
Let's say you need and we'll play along too. You need a gig. Could you handle it? And obviously, I'm really interested in hearing from any listeners who have these gigs and any information you'd like to give us.
I just a couple, maybe a week ago or so, a buddy of mine was telling me a friend of his, he's a lineman, and so he's gone down to help some hurricane areas, and he was in Houston, and he made $40,000 in 2 weeks.
Dang.
No, that's a dangerous job, right?
Yeah.
So you're obviously putting yourself at risk there, but 2 weeks he made $40,000.
Balls, Mahoney.
Yeah, one of my good friends is a linesman too, and boy, does he make some money.
Just normally, or
yep.
Yeah, I've heard they pay really well.
Yeah, and he wanted to be like the person in Alaska who fixes like telephone lines and stuff like that, so he'd be hanging from a helicopter and fixing all that.
That's crazy.
That's what he wanted to do.
All right, so here are the high-paying jobs that nobody wants to do. Let's get into it, whether or not we think we could duck in and make a living. Sanitation worker.
I did that, so.
I'm sorry?
I worked at the sanitation department at the Minnesota State Fair.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
That was one of my dream jobs, and I'd still would be. I wanted to be a garbage man when I was a little kid for the longest time.
That sucked when I did it.
Would that be considered a sanitation worker, or is that different?
I would think that would be, but it's like having to get outside of the truck and pick up like sinks and just stupid heavy stuff, couches, and that was brutal.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
And then
whatsoever.
everything's wet too, like it rains the night.
Why is everything wet?
A little soupy.
Yeah.
They call it a dirty, thankless job, long hours. But if you're willing to let her buck and get your hands dirty, you can earn a decent living as a sanitation employee. And we've covered this up and down. We have, for whatever. I think we have a lot of garbage men and women in our listening audience, so often this comes up. Keeping the streets in the neighborhood clean and everything like that.
I have a list that I've been making over a series of months, never knowing what's going to happen here, or of jobs that maybe I'd want to do if this thing failed, and Garbage Man's on that list.
I think I could hack it. I do. Sounds like we all, I don't know if I heard from everybody. You think you could?
I could do it.
Wapple says no.
Oh, God, no.
I couldn't do the lifting part. I'm just like physically not capable of like lifting a sink.
Well,
so.
get in the gym, Ashley.
I'm not fat. I'm aerodynamic. Jesus was a garbage man in New York for 5 years. Best job he ever had.
Oh.
He loved it.
Here's one I know I couldn't handle. Slaughterhouse worker.
No. Oh, no.
Nope. I could never do that. Not in a million years. Nope.
That smell alone, brutal.
It says right here, the people who work in slaughterhouses have a daunting task: killing animals for food. It doesn't require a formal education. It requires a strong stomach and thick skin.
It would probably make me a vegetarian, and I would cry a lot. There'd be a lot of tears.
You're not going to outcry Wapple.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if the two of you join that, slaughterhouse gig at the same time, you're never going to outcry Wapple.
And Wapple,
my crying's for different reasons.
Yeah. But just overall, if we're tracking tears, Ashley, you'll make the playoffs, but you'll never win the title game.
That's mine.
Wapple has cried here, and he's never had to kill an animal for his employment.
I'm the reigning champ.
I mean, honestly, not a chance that I could do this. Killing the animals using various methods, that would trouble me. It would. Hanging the carcasses so they can bleed out, removing the organs, I couldn't.
Nope.
I just couldn't. But it is, according to what I'm reading, a well-paying gig. Sure, it's not for everyone. Cop? Hell yeah, I would have no shot.
No. That's what I originally started to go to school for.
You know, like when the cops are like, man, I got to be a desk jockey now, been injured or whatever. That'd be my dream cop job.
Yeah. Right.
Or
right.
I want to be somebody in the state patrol that all I do is park at construction sites and watch Blu-rays and stuff like that overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any action. For all the ride-alongs I've been on, all the cops they're very similar where, hey, hopefully we can see some. Hopefully this isn't too boring for you. I'm like, no, I want boring. I don't need the excitement.
I think, Nick, if maybe you asked this question 10 years ago, my answer would have been completely different, but now, absolutely not.
My answer would have been the same 10, 20, 35, 40 years ago. Really tough gig. I could never be a cop. I don't have the temperament. I don't have a lot of what it takes to be a cop. We're rolling through these, a few people have texted in and said high paying, in reference to sanitation worker. I'm just going to stick with it. The subject matter is high paying jobs that nobody wants to do. Maybe it's not as high as they're trying to lead us to believe, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Coal miner. I'd be the first guy crushed by a bucket of coal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coal miner.
Nope.
No chance for
One
me.
of the most dangerous jobs in the world. If you don't get killed or injured in an accident, you suffer from respiratory problems. A lot of them do, from what I understand, exposure to dust and fumes. But it can be a well-paid career for those willing to take on those risks. Long hours. Often your shift is 12 hours or more. Noise, darkness, isolation.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine doing that job.
I would go crazy.
And it also notes that to make the high salary, you need to take the risks. You need to be that person who's willing to duck into the spots no one else wants to duck into. Do the part of the job that no one else wants to take. Oh, God, here we are. As far as good-paying, high-paying jobs that nobody wants, turd burglars. The portable toilet cleaner.
Well, I wouldn't mind doing that either.
Slinging that blue fluid.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting, I don't know anything about the job. I'm not suggesting it's easy or anything like that, but I wouldn't have a problem doing something like that. If they pay well, I'm in.
Yeah, here's the second on the list that I could handle. I could handle being a portable toilet cleaner.
Do they have to clean, like, one time I was at an outdoor concert venue and one of the porta potties tipped over, and so obviously it's just coated. Are they the ones that are responsible for cleaning the inside?
Yes, they are.
Then heck
They
no.
clean every part of that.
Every
porta
damn
potty.
thing.
Nope.
Yeah, I did that for the Pine County Fair with working with Wapple.
Oh, it did.
They mention a steady paycheck, flexible hours, satisfaction of knowing they're helping keep their community clean. I think I'd like driving the truck. I think I would like the gig. I really do think I would enjoy it because, from what I understand, and of course I've never done it for a living, but I know a few people who have, is a lot like a trucker or a garbage collector. You've got a route and you do it. There's no boss barking up your ass. You're kind of on your own in the truck, and you finish the job and you go home.
Not to mention I pee a lot, and it'd be awesome just to have a bathroom with me wherever I go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sewage inspector.
Ooh. I could do the porta potties. I don't think I could do the sewage.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I think I could do sewage.
I don't know. Do you have to go down in the sewers?
Yes.
Yeah, I can. I get claustrophobic down there.
All right, here's your red balloon. Get down to that sewer.
Rats and stuff.
Not a glamorous gig, but someone has to do it, okay?
Ashley, good point.
They mention rats and critters and dark areas, offensive odors. A lot of folks avoid taking a gig as a sewage inspector.
Veterans lawyer Jesus brings up a good point. He said the good part about being a coal miner is you don't need to save any money because you'll be dead by 55. Yeah, it never looks good in the movies.
No.
They never make that too appealing.
That's cold-blooded. Next time you flush your toilet, they say, take a moment to think of the brave sewage inspectors who do their jobs. I can handle that one, too. I'm going to go ahead and say I think I could be a effective sewage inspector.
I'd do it.
Landfill operator. You work at the dump.
Oh,
that sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah, you find some cool stuff.
A lot of bad smells.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you want some cool stuff, I've got a urine-soaked twin bed that I could hand to you.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, if you're interested, I gotta take that to the dump at some point.
Bad smell. I could be a landfill operator. Bad smells, dead things everywhere. But they say it's a well-paying profession.
Banker Jesus wants to know if Banker is on the list because today he's got to go play golf.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, darn.
That sounds rough.
Before we take a break, one more here in this report on high-paying jobs that nobody's got the balls to take. No chance for me on this one. I said no chance on cop, no chance on, how do you say it, slaughterhouse worker. And I'm saying absolutely no chance on being an embalmer.
Oh, no.
I could do that.
Sing the song, though.
Sing
Embalmer.
You know, say that in me snow, may I go blame 'em.
Embalmer.
There you go.
If I was an embalmer, that's the first thing I think every time I put on my trench coat or whatever they wear when they're down there embalming folks.
Does my voice automatically go a few pitches higher when I'm an embalmer? It's a Paul Bearer joke. I could not do this. Not a chance. Let me give you an idea what they go through according to this report. Well, you know, the basics. They prepare a dead person's body for a funeral. They have to remove the blood from the body.
Yuck.
They dress the body. They put the makeup on. They make sure that wounded bodies... What does it say here? This can't be right. These professionals also take care of responsibilities like clothing the bodies, donning makeup, and making sure that wounded bodies are viewable?
Yeah, they fix them up.
What?
Yep.
Wait a minute. No, they make sure that wounded bodies are viewable?
Yeah, so if let's say your face gets mangled in a crash, right?
Yeah.
They fix it up so it's not as horrible to look at.
Viewable, as in, so someone can look
Like
at
an
it.
Presentable.
So presentable.
Like as at an awake, as Wapple goes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that threw me. I thought they were saying that part of the job was to make sure that wounds were scene.
Oh,
do you see what I mean?
No, yeah.
Yes.
Because they drain the blood, they fondle, they dress them up, and then they fix the faces.
It's the wording threw me. The wood. Sorry.
I think I could totally do this. Because I would take a lot of pride in being the person that was like responsible for making them look the best.
Okay, yeah, I sort of thought that until this text came in. Embalming children.
Oh.
F me running. I didn't even picture that.
I was picturing old people.
Yeah, that'd be brutal.
No way. Absolutely no way.
Yep, that sealed it for me too. I never even considered that.
Thank goodness, right?
I didn't even understand the wording. So I struggled altogether with that one, but not a chance. I'm happy to.
No, couldn't do it. And you hate kids.
I do. I dislike almost all children. I'm happy to show up drunk for the job interview there so someone else can take the gig. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Half-assed morning show 93X.
All right, so I know what our listeners have been thinking. They've been thinking that morning radio is the toughest job in the world. And man, it is. I think about how tough this gig is every weekday when I'm driving myself home around 10 a.m.
Do you really?
I do. What are the tough gigs that nobody wants to take on? That's what we've been discussing. They pay pretty well. Benefits, all that cute stuff. But not a lot of folks want these gigs. So far, what did we cover so far? Sanitation worker. Not a lot of folks want to throw away other people's trash, except you find pornos and dildos and whatnot. Slaughterhouse worker. Not a lot of folks want to be cutting the heads off of cows and pigs and cats and dogs or whatever. Police officer. I want nothing to do with that. Coal miner. Wouldn't make it. Turd burglar. I would do it. Meaning portable toilet cleaner. Sewage inspector. Yeah, I could do that. Landfill operator. Sure. Embalmer. No. Oh, I got a couple of text messages. Where are the text messages here? On embalming, folks. Candy Shees has texted in to say she has an embalmer in her family. And he embalmed his own father.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Oh, that would be
It's a special breed.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got a text about a woman who went to a funeral home to make arrangements for her husband's funeral. Talk to the embalmer.
Yeah.
She told the director she wanted her husband to be buried in a dark blue suit. Have you heard this one? Have you heard about this?
Go ahead.
He asked, wouldn't it be easier just to bury him in the black suit that he's wearing? But she insisted it has to be the blue suit. Okay? She also gives him a blank check to make it happen. When she comes back for the wake, she sees her husband in the coffin. He's wearing a beautiful blue suit. And she told the director how much she loves that suit and then asked how much it cost. Actually, he said, it was free. He said the funniest thing happened. As soon as you left, another corpse was brought in, this one wearing a blue suit. I noticed they were about the same size, and I asked the other widow if she'd mind if her husband was buried in a black suit. She said it was fine with her, so I switched the heads.
God dang.
Oh my God.
He's not ready for that.
That's why it's a joke.
Another text on tough gigs. A listener says there's a lot of money doing things that nobody else wants to do. He or she says pest elimination is a gold mine.
We get a lot of those coming to the door. Usually on hovercrafts or whatever you call those things. Hoverboards.
Seriously.
Yeah. Not a hovercraft. I don't live in the middle of the ocean.
People are coming to your door on hoverboards to talk about what?
Pests.
I
They're
wonder-
bug guys.
Get rid of your cockroaches and ants.
Like a
and
lot of them, a few different ones.
flies.
Oh, so it's different companies. Okay, I was going to say, I wonder if the same company came to my door because he was also on a hoverboard.
Oh, I'll bet. There's one in particular that is supposedly everywhere. People were texting us. Last time we talked about some of this, they're like, yeah, we get this particular company all the time.
So in order to avoid walking around neighborhoods, they hoverboard around the neighborhood.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, though, these guys are working their tails off.
Not really. They're on hoverboard.
Well, as far as hustling.
Oh.
But they're hustling. They're out there all the time.
That's a brilliant idea. Back to slaughterhouse workers. Dana's a douche canoe. Jesus says he worked at a slaughterhouse. It definitely takes a toll. And he said he contradicts the report that it's a good paying job. This listener says the pay was not good, I got paid per cow and per pig.
Oh no.
All right, let me get.
A few of these on the list I think should be paid more. A cop's obviously being one of those.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how late it was, so I better get going again. Other tough gigs nobody wants. Crime scene cleaner. We have met some people who do that for a living. They've explained, mopping up blood and teeth and gums and semen and brains and
semen. Yeah, scene clean.
I'd want nothing to do with that.
Nope.
Medical tester. Pharmaceutical companies test new drugs on you.
No.
I occasionally see that. It's like, we'll give you $700 for the weekend if you come let us do some weird medical tests on you.
Well, I mentioned you guys I'm rewatching the series House, and I can tell you that some of those don't go very well for people, especially the ones that lie and say to the drug company, oh, yeah, I'm just on this one drug test, but then they're on 3 or 4 to make extra money.
It says here, in rare circumstances, folks are killed dead participating in a clinical trial, but they can make a few bucks.
I thought about doing that when I was in college, when I was super broke, but then I freaked myself out because of this exact thing. I didn't want to die, so.
Oil rig worker. I'd be crushed to death within an hour.
That is rough.
I have another buddy that does that too.
Oof, they would need the crime scene cleaners in there if I was an oil worker because it probably would be friendly fire. I would be so inept at being an oil rig worker that someone would drop a bucket on my head just to kill me.
Very, very long hours too. And you're away from your family too most of the time.
Yeah, I can't imagine being good at something like that.
Wait a minute, a job where you're away from your family most of the time? What is it again? Bull semen collector. Nobody wants the gig, Josh.
Yeah, I told you I was offered that. A buddy of mine wanted to go in on a bull with me, and we never really decided who would extract the semen, but that was the goal.
Bull semen collector. You put an apparatus in and on these massive animals until they orgasm.
Yuck.
Day after day after godforsaken day. And then they say here the collected semen is then stored in an AV. I don't know what that means, and that doesn't matter. The collected semen is then stored in an AV or an artificial vagina.
Yeah, that's the AV, right?
Oh, I see. That's what AV stands for. I thought that AV was separate from... I have to keep explaining myself because I can't understand the words, Josh. Why do I have to? I don't understand.
It's not easy.
No, words are not always as easy as you. A bull semen collector. How about a urine farmer?
What? I didn't know that was a thing.
I said urine farmer. There's no real explanation here, but I'm sure all of us have heard about, you drop a little buck scent over here, and then the bucks come, you're on a hunting trip, right?
Okay. Oh,
You're on a hunting trip, you want to attract the bucks, you throw a little doe scent on your upper lip, whatever, right? To try to get the bucks to... But they don't really explain how they collect the deer's urine. The animal, I guess we're talking about deer. How do they collect it? It says that urine farmers collect the urine in bottles and sell it to hunters. It makes perfect sense. But how do you collect it?
Have you ever had to collect an animal's urine?
Yes.
Yeah, dog, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah. It's my wife did it when our dog that recently passed, we had to get urine samples, and it was a messy process.
But I don't remember how I did it. What did I do?
Well, you had a girl dog, right?
Oh,
I wonder if that's easier.
I just put a bucket under her ass.
Yeah, she used a cup or something.
How the hell do you do that with a deer? Deer aren't going to sit still for you to hold a 2-gallon bucket under their pecker, or if it's a lady, they're the lady deer, the
lady pecker.
The lady pecker. So I don't know. Someone tell me. Do you collect deer urine? Are you a urine farmer? How the hell do you get buckets full of this stuff? A snake milker. Wapple's kind of a snake milker.
Hell yeah, he is.
Yep, I'm the best around.
You run around town, you run around in a building full of poisonous snakes, and you collect their venom so you can make anti-venom. I'd be dead within an hour.
It's pretty cool watching that process.
Where have you ever watched snake milking?
It's came up on just like my Instagram reels and stuff.
Oh, I thought maybe you swung by Snake Milkers Incorporated in or something and asked to job shadow them for a day or something. Tough gigs, all of them. They say not a lot of folks want to commit to such a thing. But if you got the balls, the toughness, the whatever it takes, you can make yourself a by God living.
Yeah, not too shabby. Some of those I think I'd be interested in for sure. Some of those not so much.
You see Josh and I just in all flannel fall morning running around with 2-gallon buckets. What are you guys doing? We're urine farmers now. We're chasing them down. Did you see a deer go by? Point us to the nearest deer. We're trying to collect some urine. We got to make some money.
I want your pee.
Looking like a couple of Elmer Fuds running around the woods with empty ice cream buckets.
Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text the word destroy. Ooh, that's evil. Destroy to 651-989-9393. That's your chance to win tickets to Metallica with Pantera and Mammoth WVH for the Friday show, August 16th at U.S. Bank Stadium, furnished by Cube Prime. Happy birthday to Zombie Foot Jesus from I'll Always Walk with Elias Jesus, and have a great Monday.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.